Put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to do?
One of the most heated rivalries in the top of Iowa West, Part 2 tonight, as it's Bishop Garrigan against West Hancock. Tyler Lance with you on Hometown Radio, KLGA, and on the Algona Radio YouTube live stream. As if this matchup is anything like the first one, we are in for a treat tonight as these two teams met up back in Algona in the month of January. It was a 53-52 final score. Bishop Garrigan held on and defeated West Hancock, surviving a final shot at the buzzer to win their fourth in a row against the Eagles. And they'll have a tough task here tonight, this time in West Hancock's home gym. We'll break down the matchup coming up next, but first, a big thank you to our streaming sponsors for tonight's game. Chemna Auto, where it's not just about the car, it's about the care. Algona State Farm Insurance Agent Billy Offerman. Algona Municipal Utilities, community-owned for community benefit, and Families of Bishop Garrigan High School, sponsoring our sports streaming here on the Algona Radio YouTube page. Also, big thank you to Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants, as they will sponsor our scoreboard graphic for tonight. Without further ado, let's get into tonight's matchup, as earlier today I got to talk with Bishop Garrigan head coach Brandon Schwab and get his thoughts on tonight's game.
We are getting ready for high school basketball tonight between Bishop Garrigan and West Hancock. And right now I'm talking with Golden Bear head coach Brandon Schwab. The team clinched the top of Iowa West title outright on Tuesday with that win over Forest City. So what did you tell to your team after that game?
Just that, being able to be conference champs 3 out of the last 5 years has been a, big accomplishment for the program. And, it doesn't happen without great players and great players that put a lot of time commitment into our off seasons and, that really truly care about our program. And, our goal is always to win a conference championship and make it to the state tournament. And these girls have accomplished step one of ours, and that's to win a conference championship, which they clinched on Tuesday night.
And, Coach, let's move right into tonight's game against West Hancock. You saw them once so far this season. What do you feel is the biggest challenge to facing them?
We've got to do a much better job of defending the three-point arc. We did a very poor job the first time that we played them, allowing them 9 or 10 threes on the night. That's inexcusable for our defense, and that will definitely be a point of emphasis. We want them to score 2-pointers to 2-pointers with us, and that's how we need the game to go. If we can hold them to, five or less threes, we're going to be in good shape. We can't let them get 9 or 10 threes, so without a doubt, that's our defensive game plan, is chase them off the 3-point arc and make them score 2 for 2 with us.
Also in that first matchup, the game got extremely physical inside. So how do you want your team to react if that happens again tonight?
Well, we've put some counters in for it. It shouldn't be called that way, and it won't be called that way again. It was extremely physical, and we've put some counters in case it gets to that point, and which our kids are good about handling it. We're used to it every night, but the hope is you're not be able to hold Audie off the ball and play that type of way. If it's played, the game is played the way the game should be played. It should be a lot better than last time.
And, Coach, here over the past couple of weeks, your offense has pretty consistently been scoring in between 70 and 80 points per game. So do you feel they've found that type of consistency that was maybe missing early in the season?
Well, we're moving the ball a lot better than what we have. Making the extra pass, cutting to open areas. I mean, we're really moving the ball and getting ball reversal right now, which for a while there in the middle of the season we were just not getting, And when we move the ball, we can score a lot of points. Like, if we put pressure on or other teams' offenses of scoring 70 points every night against us, I mean, that's a lot of pressure on the other team. I feel that's where we should be at. We should score 70 points every night, and we're capable of doing that, and it doesn't matter who we play. So, the goal again tonight, 65, 70-plus points. Make West Hancock have to score with us. Chase them off the 3-point arc, and make them score 70 points to 2-pointers, and I like our chances that way.
Briefly shifting away from tonight's game here, it was recently announced that the postseason pairings are out. Did you get a chance to look at what your bracket looks like, and what was just your reaction there and your evaluation of that?
Yeah, I got a chance to look at the bracket. I have not had a chance to even look at a team yet. I haven't spent any more moments than what we're talking of just other than I took a peek at Varsity Bound on teams' records and stuff like that. I have not looked into them at all. My focus has been West Hancock on Friday, and after West Hancock, we'll move into next week. Get done with the regular season, then I'll really start on the postseason. I just truly believe in to try to take one game at a time here, and the most important opponent on our schedule right now is the one at hand right in front of us, and that's my focus. And however that ends up bracket-wise, we'll worry about it when the regular season gets done.
Well, Coach, we're looking forward to seeing the game tonight. Thanks for the time today.
All right, thanks.
That's Bishop Garrigan, head
Collision Specialist, a total commitment to excellence.
Water Connection, from softeners to 5 on Call Street in Algona.
Style Salon, your salon in Algona. Create yourself.
Farmers State Bank, proud to be part of our community for 125 years, with offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Chemco Tires, they're all you need to know about tires and service.
Sponsoring this broadcast on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
If you're not filling with Cenex Premium Diesel, then you're not giving your fuel system the premium treatment. Cenex Roadmaster XL comes with a more complete additive package for a more complete burn, while restoring your power by up to 4.5% and your fuel economy by up to 5%. Typical number 2 diesel? I guess it covers the basics. Cenex Premium Diesel. Diesel that doesn't mess around.
Contact New Way K&H Cooperative, your certified Cenex distributor, at 1-800-445-4118.
More Sports Club members making these broadcasts possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Catholic
A good plush always beats a full house.
Grassmasters, get tips and advice from their lawn care professionals. Grassmasters, growing satisfied customers.
American Glass for all.
Massage, nutritional care, and physical therapy services.
Dr. Bill Stroman, giving you something to smile about.
Jake Ingalls Electric, for shockingly good service, call 320-4286.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
All bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Back with you on Hometown Radio, KLGA, and the Algona Radio YouTube live stream. I'm Tyler Lance, my partner's Beanie Bodie. And Beanie, what an exciting matchup we have here tonight. Bishop Garrigan and West Hancock. I mean, these two schools go at it in just about every sport, but girls basketball especially. These two teams have had some special matchups over the years.
And this goes way back before the days you were gracing Algona with the Tyler Lance presence. These two teams have played for almost 10 years now, where both programs have good, solid girls basketball teams. And as you said, the pregame, Garrigan's gotten the last 4, but boy, that last one away season with that girls game coming down to the wire, and West Hancock having a couple looks at the basket at the end. Very exciting game last time when these two teams met. I hope we're in for another barn burner tonight.
Absolutely, and in that last matchup, like you referenced, one of the key players was West Hancock sophomore Mallory Lear. She was stepping back, hitting highly contested threes in that game. And if you heard Coach Schwab's pregame interview, you heard him talk about running West Hancock off the three-point line here tonight and forcing them to beat you with 2-point shots. I think Mallory Lear is a big part of that. Bishop Garrigan's guards, especially on defense, are going to have to be ready to defend the perimeter.
Yeah, for sure. I'm watching the warm-ups right now. Mallory Lear is just draining three-point shots. Kennedy Kelly's draining three-point shots. So, of course, Coach Schwab's exactly right. Keep them from shooting those three-point shots, but still be able to recover defensively and not let them drive that ball all the way into the lane. Of course, every team has tried to get Audie. Teammates are running people off that three-point line.
Absolutely. And on the other side of the basketball, Audie Crooks gave the fans a show just very recently against North Union 1 week ago, setting the Bishop Garrigan single-game record of points with 44. And in that game, she also hit the single-game rebounding record of 21. We didn't even realize it until later, but 2 single-game records in 1 game. So Crooks just somehow continues to improve. That is hard to believe, but she does it.
Yeah, and we've just started to take it for granted at Bishop Garrigan, and now she's a junior. We've just imagining how to replace 20-plus rebounds and 44 points. Clearly, it changes the dynamics of the game and everything around it. But besides Audie, Garrigan has so many weapons. Molly Joyce was on fire the other night. against Forest City. Molly Joyce was shooting lights out. Abby Capacious drives the ball well to the hoop. I mean, Garrigan has other offensive weapons, and so that's like Coach Schwab said, they want to score 70 points. If all those offensive weapons are firing, no problem for the Bishop Garrigan Bears, even if West Hancock playing some fantastic defense, which they did the last time out. West Hancock, outstanding defense last time around.
Should be an outstanding matchup here tonight. It's Bishop Garrigan coming in 16-3 against West Hancock 16-4. We'll step aside here for a timeout as they get ready for the starting lineups and national anthem here from West Hancock High School. And we'll come back with the tip-off next on Hometown Radio KLGA and the Algona Radio YouTube live stream.
With over a decade of experience, Jake Ingalls Electric is here to handle any electrical job you could possibly have. From anything agricultural related to complex commercial wiring to something simple like installing a new outlet in your home. Jake Ingalls Electric does it all. Have your wiring done right and call Jake at 515-3
to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call to their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether you're first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Call PMC Advantage with offices in Algona, Burt, Corwith, Garner, Sway City, and West Bend.
It's now time to take a look at the starting lineup for the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears.
Audie Crooks, junior, number 55.
High lob to Crooks, reaches back to catch it, puts it off the glass and scores it.
Molly Joyce, junior, number 11.
Now Joyce steps back for her 3 and she swishes it. My goodness, Molly Joyce.
Meredith Tigas, senior, number 23.
Tigas will now try to take it coast to coast, and Tigas gets the layup from the left side.
Emma Grangenet, senior, number 2.
Now Grangenet has a 3-point look, spins it up and swishes it. Emma Grangenet. Now Capacious intercepts the inbounds pass, sidesteps the defender and gets the easy lay-in.
Tip-off is coming up next on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
That's the Bishop Garrigan starting 5. Now we'll take a look at West Hancock's starting 5 as they'll mix it up a little bit here for senior night. We'll have 1 underclassman in the lineup, sophomore Mallory Learer, then 4 seniors, senior Kennedy Kelly, senior Scout Johansson, senior Leah Aitchison. Get the nod here on senior night for West Hancock. At midcourt, it's Audie Crooks from Bishop Garrigan, 6'3". She'll be going up against the 6-foot-tall Aitchison. That was an interesting matchup last time as Crooks taps it sideways and it's taken by West Hancock's Scout Johansson. Into the front court as Kelly does a quick pump fake. Now up top to Aitchison. Back towards the right to Kelly, and we're rolling. Grangenet knocks the entry pass away, tiptoes, and keeps it in play and saves it to a teammate. Molly Joyce across half court after that forced turnover by Bishop Garrigan. Golden Bears number 5 in the entire state in offense, averaging 67.8 points a game as Grangenet's pass into Crooks is intercepted by Aitchison. Running the other way, getting towards the bucket is Learer, and now she'll throw it away to Capacious.
Boy, nothing but turnovers to start the game. You got to remember how tall Aitchison is in when you're throwing that ball to Audie. Aitchison's tall as well.
Joyce attacks the baseline, lob to Crooks, and she'll get fouled right away, and she'll shoot 2 here.
Now that has tended to happen when the Eagles play the Bears. Aitchison is a great senior player down there for the Eagles, but she just picks up a couple early fouls, finds herself on the bench, and that's always hurts the Eagles right off the bat. So she nods to her teammates. I think she's determined not to let herself end up on the bench more than a normal rest.
Crooks misses the first foul shot, tries to split the pair here. That one rattles out. Capacious taps to the baseline, but it's picked up by Mallory Learer, the sophomore. Gives the ball to Johansson as the senior averages 8 points a game. She'll bring it into the front court. West Hancock will get ready to bring Shelby Gopel in at the next stoppage here, a normal starter. Into Kelly on the block, guarded by Joyce, and now she'll back it up beyond the 3-point line. Top of the key, Aitchison, 3 ball off to the left, and Crooks jumps up for the rebound.
Whoa, a minute into the game, no score. Neither of these teams are used to that, and another turnover is the name of the game so far. Both teams turning the ball over much more. It's a Friday night. Maybe people are just feeling a little antsy.
Yeah, that could be as not the start we expected here. 6:49 on the clock and still no score. West Hancock with the basketball, heading from right to left. Holding Coogee to the right to Johansson, now down towards the paint to Lear. Goes into the lane and puts it up and drops it in. 2-0 West Hancock.
Lear with a nice left-handed scoop shot there.
Joyce will come across the Eagle logo at midcourt. A lot of red seats are red. The banners are red. There's a vicious. Now right to Grand Jeanette. Down in the near corner, Joyce. She'll fade away for a 3-ball. That's a little long off the back iron. And there's a nice box out, but a jump ball as Gopal and Capacious both had their hands on it.
Yeah, Gopal had position, but Capacious swung her hips, got them inside like a wrestler, and was able to tie that up, giving the ball to Tigas, is taking it out of bounds.
Tigas from the far side on the baseline goes into Capacious. Capacious gets bumped, picks the basketball back up though. Now Grand Jeanette lob inside Crooks, catches between 3 defenders, blocked by Aitchison. Picked back up by Capacious, partially blocked. Crooks on the third opportunity, puts it in and she got fouled. All kinds of blocks in the lane that time, but the benefits and families of Bishop Garrigan High School, all streaming sponsors. I have received a note here. Our streaming's a little bit buffery so far. Hang with us if you can. We'll try to keep working on that, although that might just be the internet connection we have here for tonight. But we've got the audio going on the radio as well, so we'll keep describing it as vividly as possible.
All right, note taken, Tyler. I will improve my adjectives. Try on, gives the Bears another chance.
Joyce in the far corner of the court. 5:27 on the clock. 4-2 Bishop Garrigan. Now Joyce will launch a free-point. It's Kelly. She'll try the three-pointer. Rattles out of the drain. Rebounding, though, is Gopal. Gets it back to Kelly. Across the lane. Now back out beyond the three-point line. Mallory Lear. Lear to the right wing. Aitchison now back to the left. Kelly works towards the right. Fought about the three, but Joyce stayed on her. Now over to Gopal, far side. Gopal goes to the baseline. Crooks cuts her off. Bounce pass back outside to Kelly. Now elbow jumper on the way from Aitchison. Bounces high off the rack, and Grand Jeanette grabs the board.
So far, Coach Schwab's directive is being true. Those girls are keeping Hancock off the three-point line.
Crooks catches in the lane, goes 360, and then her pass to the cutter that time is knocked away. Couldn't find Tigas. West Hancock runs. They go out beyond the three-point line. Lear penetrates left of the lane. That shot is blocked. That one hit off the forearm of Crooks that time, and Capacious picks it up.
Well, there's no room on that sideline. There's a stage on the end of the court, and there's very little out-of-bounds room.
Joyce, top of the key triple. That one will knuckle off along the baseline and be picked up by Mallory Lear. Quick outlet up to Kennedy Kelly. She has an open look for the layup, and she puts it in.
Oh, running the floor well. Kennedy Kelly could see that coming. As soon as Lear got that rebound, she was on a track sprint to the other end of the floor, knowing she had a chance. Wide open layup.
And back to that last point, Beanie, this gym may have the smallest out-of-bounds area I've ever seen.
Yeah, if you're taking it out of bounds, you have no room.
Grand Jeanette into the lane. She got hooked and fouled, though. Looks like they'll get Gopal on the reach-in.
And that stage is well padded, but players they sacrifice their bodies and go crash into that stage if they're going to try to save that rebound from going out of bounds. So that does become a factor in this gym. This is an intense gym to play on. We're right on top of the action here.
And correction, that one actually went against Kelly. Has a nice pass into Capacious. She'll have the easy lay-in from the lane, and it's 9-4 Bishop Garrigan. Quickly the other way, here comes Gopal. Gopal blocked by Joyce, but also a foul on the play.
Wow, good job. Hancock really pushing the tempo, outletting that pass. They moved up the camera fast enough. Joyce gets back just in time to block the shot, but got too much arm there. And naturally, of course, she doesn't agree.
Of course. Who has ever actually committed a foul right in the eyes of the person making it?
Part of it is any ball. It feels like you got all ball because that's all you feel. That's all your senses are telling you.
Are you saying the five senses are a little bit selective?
I think so. If what you're trying to do is block, yes.
Both foul shots are missed here, and Crooks near side, right underneath us to the right. She'll flash across the lane, dumps it into the far corner. Capacious pulls the trigger on a three, tried to bank it in, won't fall. Rebounded by Eccles, jump ball.
Zoe Montag in the game, tying that up with Tigas and Crooks in the vicinity. Both teams not hitting their free throws, both teams turning over the ball, so that is uncharacteristic for both these teams. Maybe with some nerves. I think both teams really want this game.
I would have to say so as well, as Kennedy Kelly drifts towards the right and hands it off to Johansson coming around. Now Eccles just to the left of center. Bounce pass near side Brugman. Free ball comes up short. Kicks into the near corner. Nobody touches it. It goes out of bounds, and it's back to Bishop Garrigan.
So Joyce and Capacious and often Emma Grand Jeanette so far have really been doing a sensational job on Lear and Kennedy, keeping them from getting the ball hardly at all.
Now Capacious near half court, comes over right beneath us. Now gives to Joyce. Joyce sees it. Brugman has it. Joyce hopping into the lane, going off the glass and putting it in.
Well, she was not going to be denied. She was just determined to get to the hoop. I don't know how she does it. Once again, Molly Joyce to the hoop.
The number 2 scorer in the top of Iowa West is Joyce. Number 1, of course, Crooks. Bounce pass towards the right. Now a bullet inside. It goes behind the intended target, Eccles, and out of bounds. Another West Hancock turnover.
Now Capacious and Joyce and now Zoe Montag, they're working so hard keeping Lear and Kennedy.
Lane tried to flip it over her head to Crooks, but that got knocked away and intercepted by West Hancock. Running is Kelly, taking a bump. They let them play. Ball kicks to the near side off the missed layup. They'll rotate it over to Lear. She'll fire free, rattles out, and Crooks rebounds in traffic.
Well, the Eagles got what they wanted. They found Mallory Lear for the 3. Missed that one.
2 minutes to go in the quarter. 11-4 is the Bishop Garrigan lead. Tigas left wing into the corner to Montag. Reverses it back over to Tigas. Now to Crooks. Center of the paint. Turns 180 to the bucket. And she left it a little short with the left hand. Ball pops loose on the floor. Rolls between Crooks' legs. And it's picked up by Johansson. She'll come up the far side of 1:47 on the clock. Hesitates. Now goes to the bucket. And a foul on the play.
You know, she didn't get the and one there. But Scout Johansson with Garrigan really focusing on Kennedy Kelly and Mallory Lear. Scout Johansson is a very good player. So far this game, she's really been directing the offense, able to get in a shape to draw a charge, picks up the blocking foul. Kelly makes these at the line.
As Kelly will come up short on the first one, and West Hancock's left a few points on the court here tonight with the foul shooting.
Yeah, boy, both teams struggling from the free throw line. Uncharacteristic for late in the season, while at this point, the girls shot over 1,000 free throws at practice, as much as these teams practice.
Second foul shot is good, so Kelly splits the pair, and it's 11-6. West Hancock with 14 fouls. Bishop Garrigan 3 as here comes a full court press. Joyce will dribble around traffic as West Hancock backs off. High lob inside to Crooks. Catches, drops, follows, and she got held.
Now the question is, who's that going to be on? It's on number 22.
Johansson.
That is Scout Johansson, which is a sigh of relief. Johansson's not happy about it, but Aikenson is, because she did not want to pick up her second foul here at the end of the first quarter with just a minute to go. She'd have to go to the bench.
That's a great point because Aikenson is 6 feet tall. No one else on the roster is listed over 5'10", so if you lost her for any stretch of time, that would really handicap your effort to defend Crooks.
Now, I don't know what's in the water in the gym today, but boy, these are good free throw shooters. Audie Crooks, Kennedy Kelly, these girls in the...
Kelly heads right around the perimeter, tries to pass to...
You know, basketball is such a great game, exciting, fast-paced. They should have never called something a free throw. We got to change the name of that. There's nothing free about that. You have to shoot a million of them before you get any good at them. And then it's stressful. Everyone's watching you play. It's anything but free.
Montag will pump fake, she'll drive, and it goes off her leg. Quick outlet pass for West Hancock up to Kelly, runs to the bucket, Joyce backs off, and Kelly lays it in. 11-8 now to score, 26 seconds to go. Joyce comes into the front court as West Hancock backs off. 3-point ball game. Montag far side, bumps into Kelly.
Yeah, that was an awkward position by both players. Montag was kind of trying to kind of awkward position to try to maintain control of the ball. Kennedy went for the steal. There may have been nothing there for either player, but it looks so strange.
Now Capacious with 10 seconds. Touched by Bishop Garrigan.
All right, 6.6 left here for the Eagles to try to create a shot. Good opportunity for them to try to tie this game up at 11 with a 3-point shot. We'll see how good the Garrigan defense is. They keep him off the line.
They haven't hit one yet. Johansson will drive instead. Gives to Aitchison. Short baseline jumper, and she swishes it at the buzzer to make it 11-10. West Hancock scores the final 4 points of the quarter, and they make it final 6 points of the quarter, actually, and they make it 11-10, still in favor of Bishop Garrigan as we go to the second on Hometown Radio, KLGA.
Sports Club members bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Kasuth Regional Health Center. Make
and Company, LLC, your tax service professionals in Algona and Bancroft, where everyone counts.
Yemlin Builders and Quality Apartments for Rent. Beauty and craftsmanship that will never go out of style.
Albert Electric. Flip the switch to Albert Electric. Call Neil at 320-0305.
Iowa Lakes Community College. Your community, your college.
Feed Mill Coffee Company in downtown Algona, where community connects.
All sponsors of this broadcast.
Second quarter time here on Hometown Radio, KLGO YouTube live stream. Right now, Bishop Garrigan leads West Hancock 11-10, but the corner capacious, she'll try a three, and she rainbows it in. 16-10 Bishop Garrigan. Golden Bears have now answered of 6 points in a row. Across the lane, Kelly works outside Johansson, now over to Aitchison. Long two, and she swishes it.
Ooh, Aitchison is hot from that jump shot. She hit one to end the first quarter. There's another for Aitchison. Keep feeding her the ball.
Just one step inside the three-point line, and that was perfect. Now Capacious goes over to the left wing, Joyce. Free ball, and she hits it.
The net barely moved.
A bounce pass to the cutting Kelly. It goes behind her, and it's picked up by Tegas for a turnover. Bishop Garrigan moves up the court with Joyce. Joyce to the left. Now down the center of the lane. Kicks it to Capacious in the corner, and she'll work it to Grand Jeanette. Back to Joyce. She'll fire a corner three, and that one deflected.
Crooks.
So that'll be foul number 4 against Bishop Garrigan, and that'll give West Hancock the basketball back.
There was, I got to tell you, I didn't see anything there. I was watching it because I was watching Tiggis go get the rebound. Audie Crooks was standing right next to her, and with nobody around her. It was almost a phantom foul on that one. I hope that doesn't come back to haunt the Bishop Garrigan Bears.
Now it's Eccles passing it left to Lear. The sophomore penetrates, stops just inside the foul line, off the back of the iron on that jumper, and Capacious rebounds. The sophomore jogs it into the front court, comes right to Grand Jeanette. Grand Jeanette goes all the way across to Joyce. Joyce weaves into the lane, now back outside Grand Jeanette. Grand Jeanette double dribbled on that.
Oh, unfortunate. Emma was about to make something happen too, but Garrigan moving the ball really well. Joyce has been open a couple times. She's running without the ball really well. Capacious has been open. So the Hancock defense, which was so sharp a moment ago, Garrigan's figuring out how to make them move and spread them out.
Now towards the baseline, losing the basketball is Eccles, and Grand Jeanette gets it. That's been the Achilles heel of the night for West Hancock. They have suffered quite a few turnovers here. As now 4:46 on the clock, 7-point Bishop Garrigan advantage. Golden Bears undefeated in the conference this year. West Hancock 11-3. Grand Jeanette just stands there. They're letting
like a ballerina dancer doing a little pirouette there because she knew they were going to try to pick up a charge, and she did not commit it. She stands straight up and down and takes all kinds of contact and still gets that ball up and in the hoop. And so we're having a disagreement here.
That was foul number 7 on West Hancock as the free throw rattles out. Offensive rebound, though, for Tiggis. 3:36 on the clock. And now ball got knocked out of bounds by West Hancock. Johansson back into the game in place of Eccles.
Yeah, but going back to that play, Joyce finds Crooks, and Crooks is triple teamed, and then the whole defense collapses on her. There was wide open shooters on the other side of the floor, so Garrigan really creating some stuff on offense, and here's the three-point by Montag.
That one will come a little bit short from the left side. Tiggis reaches in for the rebound, and she forces a jump ball.
And Tiggis has been all over the boards today. I think I've counted at least 4 rebounds for sure, maybe more, but even the ones she's not getting, she is in there battling.
Johansson, a bounce pass towards the far side of the court to Brugman. Now back outside. Just scored 2 points. A big difference from the first time these two teams matched up. Now Kelly will attack, working it back outside to Johansson. Flashing across the foul line, giving to Aitchison. Another long jumper. This one comes up short. It's kicked. It'll roll off of Tiggis' foot and out of bounds, staying with West Hancock.
And so far, that Lear only scoring 2 points is due to Abby Capacious primarily, and sometimes Emma Grand Jeanette have just been doing a sensational job face guarding her. Abby's looking eye to eye with her right now, going everywhere she goes. Capacious is with Lear.
Bounce pass to a curling Kennedy Kelly outside the lane. Dribbles all the way back outside beyond the three-point line and gets to Johansson. Starts right, comes left. Tiggis stays in front. Now working it outside to Kelly with 2:48 on the clock. Kelly will travel, try to drive across the lane, but
West Hancock had a good situation. Garrigan is playing a man-to-man, and they had a screen that enabled Kennedy Kelly to drive to the basket, and she was driving right into the grips of Audie Crooks. And if she doesn't travel there, puts Audie in a tough defensive situation defending the drive.
So 12-point Bishop Garrigan lead now, 2:39 on the clock. Joyce in the far corner. Johansson guards closely. Joyce works sideways with the left hand. High pass inside to Grand Jeanette, who falls down, tries to keep her dribble, but Lear takes it right out of her hands. Lear will now push up the near side. She'll head to the...
And Mallory Lear's a graceful player, but that time she put too much body into Tiggis, and Tiggis hits the deck for her. You know, you don't see a lot of girls... I rarely see a girl flop, right? Like... as in try to act and try to encourage the charge call. But that time, Tigas, she didn't flap. She just flat out got knocked into the stage. And they're discussing the call now on who the foul is on.
That's going to go against number 10, Mallory Lear, her second. And that'll be number 8 here against West Hancock. They've defended aggressively, but they've piled up the fouls here in the first half. Grand Jeanette just in front of the West Hancock bench. They try to double her. She'll pass out of it to Joyce. Joyce to the foul line. She'll stop for a jumper. Rattles out of the drain. Offensive rebound, Capacious. Capacious had it knocked out of her hands by Kennedy Kelly, and it'll stay with Bishop Garrigan.
Now, Mallory Lear is a good young player. She sometimes things like that, getting that foul, sometimes that gets a player going. I bet she responds to that. She's a competitor.
Into Crooks on the left wing. She smiles. She starts to dribble. Flips it up to Capacious. Now reverses to Grand Jeanette. Grand Jeanette shoots a floater from the foul line. Rattles out. Crooks tips to herself. Follows no. Gets it again. Follows again. And this time she got fouled.
She's mad she didn't make it. She rolled her ankle a little bit. Abby Capacious, she nods. Says, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. And rolls that ankle. I think she rolled that one with pops on it. But she wished she could get to and one there, because the free throws just still won't go for her. She misses the front end of that one. But she is getting some major contact down there under the hoop on that foul. See if she can make her second one, get off the schneid.
Crooks tries again. Unfriendly bounce as it hops off to the right. 0 for 2 trip right there for Crooks, who is really struggling from the foul line tonight. Now a whistle here, and 5. Offensive foul on number 5, I believe.
Yeah, she was running the play, and she came down to set a screen and just kind of bowled over a Garrigan player, and is going to get called for I guess we'll call that a blocking. We'll call that it's like a football play there. That's a block.
Now Joyce whip it back, 1:38 on the clock. Feels like we've been stuck at 24-12 for several minutes here as Capacious comes over to Joyce, towards the lane, hooks it up with the left hand into Crooks, goes off the glass. She'll make it 26-12.
Hey, that was a pretty pass by Molly Joyce. Crooks, good footwork to finish.
Crooks with 8 points, 1:21 on the clock. West Hancock looking for a spurt here right before halftime. Baseline, a jumper over the top of Crooks is missed long by Brugman. Offensive rebound, Johansson dishes into the lane to Gopel, hits it off the rim, no good. Outlet up to Joyce, drifts to the far side of the court, stops for a left angle 3, off the back of the rim. Johansson rebounds for West Hancock. 1 minute to go in the quarter, as Johansson gives it underhanded to Kelly. Kelly sidesteps into a three-pointer, bounces off to the left, and Crooks rebounds again.
Oh, that's the first time Garrigan get off the shot, but misses, and now Garrigan's going to run a play here, run a little bit of clock.
Now Tagus holds the ball. Kelly took a swing at it that time, but Tagus kept care of it. 33 seconds now, lobbing to Crooks on the block. Dishes it behind her to Capacious. Missed right at the rack, though. Knocks the rebound away, and Tagus picks it up for Bishop Garrigan. 25 seconds to go. Capacious again, inside Tagus. She'll go glass, and she'll make it 28-12. Lear fought about the deep 3. She'll drive instead. She floats it up, bounces off to the right. Crooks rebounds with 9 seconds. Gives it to Joyce. Joyce of 6 seconds, crosses half court with 5. Joyce behind the back dribble, heads into the lane, goes to the bucket, and she got fouled with 1 second left.
Well, really good composure. Call it poise, call it whatever you want, but I was panicking up here as the clock was ticking down under 6 seconds, and Molly Joyce just casually sets up that drive. Great job playing the clock, getting to the hoop with 1 second left.
Joyce knew exactly how much time there was, and now she'll miss a free throw.
Coach Schwab can't believe it. I agree with him. I've never seen this team miss so many free throws. It's shocking.
1 second to go in the half. Joyce again. This one she swishes, 29-12. Ball goes into play to Johansson. Clock didn't start. Johansson got it off, but she missed it at the buzzer anyways, and the score stays 29-12. Well, we'll go to halftime here on Hometown Radio, KLGA, and the Algona Radio YouTube live stream, and come back with more halftime coverage next.
When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at MoneyPass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
With over a decade of experience, Jake Ingalls Electric is here to handle any electrical job you could possibly have. From anything agricultural related to complex commercial wiring to something simple like installing a new outlet in your home, Jake Ingalls Electric does it all. Have your wiring done right and call Jake at 515-320-4286. Jake Ingalls Electric, shockingly good service.
If you're not filling with Cenex Premium Diesel, then you're not giving your fuel system the premium treatment. Cenex Roadmaster XL comes with a more complete additive package for a more complete burn, while restoring your power by up to 4.5% and your fuel economy by up to 5%. Typical number 2 diesel? I guess it covers the basics. Cenex Premium Diesel. Diesel that doesn't mess around.
Contact New Way K&H Cooperative, your certified Cenex distributor, at 1-800-445-4118.
And we are back here at halftime between Bishop Garrigan and West Hancock. Right now it's the Golden Bears of a 29-12 lead. And before we continue on with the girls' game, we'll preview the boys' game here coming up with head coach Mark Meister. Coach, first of all, the team comes off a road win against a tough Forest City team on Tuesday. 51-46, the final score in that one. What did it say about your team to be able to go into that environment and win against a team that you had lost to earlier in the season?
Well, we're finally there, able to execute some things down the stretch of games. There's been some games we were in, and I didn't think we won them down the stretch. Sometimes effort, sometimes things that were out of our control, but we're down 7 in that game. We were in it most of the time, and then had a few things not kind of go our way and called some timeouts. I felt like we did a really good job of calling timeouts and adjusted some things, mainly offensively. And guys, we just executed things. It was phenomenal to watch. The ball reversal, the dive we were trying to hit, the ball in the corner. I mean, those things worked. It was great.
And, Coach, you come into tonight's game against West Hancock on a nice little stretch right now, having won 5 of your last 7 games. So just, first of all, how much momentum do you feel the guys are feeling right now as you head towards the postseason and the last couple top of Iowa West games here?
Well, it shows we're peaking at the right time. This was a highly inexperienced team. I kind of think all of us thought we were going to put it together sooner and easier than we did, but we've done it. So, I think we're hanging our hat on the defensive end. I think we're starting to understand, offense is a lot more fun. I prefer offense. I'm an offense guy, but defense is where this team's at, and we've been out rebounding teams a lot. We force teams to shoot the 3. Now, this is a good 3-point shooting team, so the defense we run, it's going to have to be a little switch from the way we do it. We're going to have to be a little more outside back into the paint, so hopefully we do those things and can get a win here tonight.
And, Coach, you talk about the rebounding your team's been able to do here. Is it just a matter of size for you guys, or are there any specific fundamentals you feel your team has improved on as the season has progressed?
Don't be ball watchers. We've talked about that a lot. I understand after a guy shoots a 3, it's easy to run past him or try and leak out or this or that. But those simple things that anybody can do that doesn't take, basketball talent to do, just turn and crash, turn and get there, box a guy. I still don't think we box out well enough, but if you watch us, we've got quite a few guys crashing. We've gotten a lot better at that. Even guys that, aren't averaging 10 rebounds. If you're averaging a couple, but you're doing those things, the ball's going to start falling your way and falling our way, and that's kind of the key to it.
Coach, matchup number 2 against West Hancock here tonight. Just what's the scouting report on them that you're seeing?
Make sure the right guys for them don't shoot them so we can get them in that, low percentage. Then we're getting a lot of rebounds. The Forest City game the other night, they go 4 of 20. From 3. We forced them into those. They started wanting to take them. Guys that shouldn't be taking them are taking more of them. And because of that, you get a lot of rebound opportunities. We'd like to say we're going to get 90% of those, and hopefully tonight we can do that now. It's their home gym. Usually it seems like when we come over here they shoot pretty well, so we can't get discouraged. We got to stay with the game plan and stay with our guys.
Well, Coach, we're looking forward to seeing the game tonight. Thanks for stopping by.
All right, thank you.
That's Bishop Garrigan head coach Mark Meister here. We'll take a timeout and get you ready for the second half next on Hometown Radio KLGA.
Sports Club members bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Kasuth Regional Health Center. Make KRHC your home for healthcare.
North Iowa Appliance, Highway 18 East, Algona, where they sell the best and service the rest.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country on Highway 18 West, Algona.
Greg Penning & Company, LLC, your tax service professionals in Algona and Bancroft, where everyone counts.
Yemlin Builders and Quality Apartments for Rent. Beauty and craftsmanship that will never go out of style.
Albert Electric. Flip the switch to Albert Electric. Call Neil at 320-0305.
Iowa Willow Lakes Community College. Your community, your college.
Feed Mill Coffee Company in downtown Algona, where community connects.
All sponsors of this broadcast. For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
More sports club members making these broadcasts possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Catholic Charities, offering professional counseling services to families and individuals of all faiths. Learn more at cathchar.com.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good plush always beats a full house.
Grassmasters, get tips and advice from their lawn care professionals. Grassmasters, growing satisfied customers.
American Glass, for all your glass needs, think American.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, serving Algona, Sway City, and the surrounding areas for chiropractic, massage, nutritional care, and physical therapy services.
Dr. Bill Stroman, giving you something to smile about.
Jake Ingalls Electric, for shockingly good service, call 320-4286.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
All bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Iowa did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
Some days are amazing. Today isn't one of them. Lose your debit card and it's on a shopping spree without you? No worries. Just turn it off with the Brella app. This is Sherry Benkin at Security State Bank. The Brella mobile app helps you monitor your debit card by receiving alerts when your card is used. Get real-time fraud alerts. Check your account balance and find nearby ATMs. Ask us about the Brella app at Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
And we get ready for the second half here on Hometown Radio, KLGA, and on the Algona Radio YouTube live stream. Again, we do apologize. We've gotten some reports here of some video quality issues here tonight, but it just seems we don't quite have the internet connectivity we need. So again, we'll just keep trying to describe the game to you in vivid action. And partner, that first half, definitely action is the word to describe it. Fast pace for West Hancock. Really some pretty good defense being played here on both sides, but largely Bishop Garrigan just forced a lot of misses, defended the three-point line well. A lot of what Coach Schwab said in the pregame.
Yeah, I was really pleased with that first half of the Bishop Garrigan offense, working on some new stuff. You saw one of those counters. Coach Schwab mentioned he's had some counters for when Audie's getting triple teamed inside, and you saw one of those at the end of the first half. Audie gets the ball and makes a nice dish to Abby Capacious cutting back door. That's the kind of counter that Coach Schwab's putting in. Well-executed play at the end of that second half, but Brick continues to play great defense, pushing the tempo. Well, they just are not getting shots because Garrigan's really chasing them off the three-point line like the game plan called for. And I did not realize how fast it got to be 29-12. It feels a lot closer than that.
Score was 11-10 at the end of the first quarter, but now 29-12 here at half. Like you said, Bishop Garrigan held West Hancock to just 2 points in the second quarter. Johansson starts with a jumper, and she buries it.
And that's just a nice play by Hancock right out of there. You can see they planned that at halftime. They figured out a way to get it at the open jump shot. Not a three-pointer, just a nice free throw.
Now Tigas cutting baseline, missing right at the rack. Crooks follows, though, and she gets fouled. Another offensive rebound for Audie Crooks, and they're having a little more trouble keeping her off the boards tonight.
Yes, they are. That was just a great play executed by Bishop Garrigan. They set it up. That Tigas cut back door, great pass on the money. She misses the layup, which she's laughing about right now. But it's easy to miss a shot when you know Audie Crooks is down there to get the rebound. And believe it or not, Audie missed another free throw just now. This game would be more like 30-20 if either team was hitting their free throws. There she hit one.
Drains that one. And she'll add a point here for Bishop Garrigan, making it 30-14. But yeah, like you said, it has been a tough night for Crooks at the foul line, and she's improved her foul shooting throughout her career as Capacious intercepts a pass intended for Learer, and she'll give it to Tigas here.
Capacious intercepted that pass with her brain. She just read West Hancock's play. It's like she just knew right where it was going and just cut the pass.
Grand Jeanette tried to enter it into Crooks, got knocked away by Johansson. Right back into the hands of Grand Jeanette, who takes it herself to the bucket, and she'll get fouled and shoot two here.
Yeah, boy, she goes hard into that stage. She's getting up laughing and smiling, but I'll tell you, she fell awkwardly. Her knees were bent kind of funny, and she hit her head on the stage, but she tucks that hair behind her ears and gets ready to shoot some free throws. Let's see if neither team can hit free throws. There's something in the gym tonight.
Grand Jeanette tries the first foul shot, and that one rattles and gets the friendly bounce. 31-14. 4 points here for Grand Jeanette. Also, for those of you listening on the radio who maybe went away from the stream, I'm told the stream has improved here, so maybe we are getting it back on track here for the second half. If you want to try our YouTube stream again, Grand Jeanette makes the second one as well. 32-14 Bishop Garrigan. Both these teams needed a 2-for-2 at the line at some point.
Yeah, maybe the second half will be a mirror image of the first. I mean, opposite of the first.
Now bounce pass over to a jumper for Johansson near side. Bounces high off the rim right into Crooks' hands with 6:37 on the clock. Joyce into the front court. Joyce weaves around the defense, tries to go inside, ran right into Lear that time. Ball popped into Capacious' hands. Kelly reaches in and pokes it out of bounds.
You know, that time, Joyce, she can get to the hoop whenever she wants with her athleticism and ball handling. But that time, Tigas does a nice screen and gets a hoop for Molly. It just didn't go.
Capacious inside Crooks, shovels it out to Joyce, passes at the three. Kelly pokes it away again. Joyce tries to keep her dribble. It goes out of bounds, and Bishop Garrigan will keep it.
Boy, that is hustle by Kennedy Kelly there. Just never say die. She was going to go after that ball.
Kelly just keeps shooting her hand in there on defense, and she is great at doing that without fouling. As now Grand Jeanette's pass is tipped right to Crooks, though. Feeds a cutting Tigas, fires it up there. Didn't get the foul. Goes right into Crooks' hands, though, and she follows and scores.
Yeah, Kennedy Kelly is fearless at slapping at that ball. She really takes a lot of risks and puts the officials in a position to maybe call a foul on her. But she's just says, oh, she gets the ball now. She's tough.
Into Kelly, backing up against Joyce. Offensive foul. She tried to hook her off the left elbow that time, and that is going to be number 3 on Kelly.
Yeah, Molly Joyce just took an elbow right in the ribs.
West Hancock in a precarious position right now with Kelly having 3 fouls and right now trailing by 20 here in the third quarter. Grand Jeanette now up towards the logo to Joyce. Back to the left, Capacious. Works it right, Grand Jeanette again. Surveys the defense, now flips it back left, Capacious. Grand Jeanette penetrates into the lane, floats, misses off to the Crooks rebounds again, and she scores it, 36-14.
You know, Scout Johansson is trying to block out Audie Crooks, and she has position, but she's just leaning into the hips of Audie, and it's not doing anything. It's not budging her, and Audie just reaches up and
now there's going to be a foul away from the play here, whistled against Capacious for Bishop Garrigan.
Yeah, Capacious got screened and then put Kennedy Kelly to the floor fighting through the screen. Good call by the officials.
Bounce pass is rejected by Crooks. Brugman tried to go up with a shot, and Crooks erased it. Now Joyce runs. Sidesteps past Lear. Misses on the layup, though. That would have been some fancy footwork if that had fallen.
That was pretty. And another player goes crashing into the pads. Oh, a carry is called on Johansson, who's played such a clean game so far. Another turnover, plaguing the Eagles tonight.
It'll be interesting to see the official numbers once the game ends as far as turnovers go, because that has not been pretty for West Hancock. The three-point shooting has not been pretty. Foul shooting's been, frankly, bad on both sides so far tonight. Definitely some interesting numbers incoming after the game. As Joyce catches it on the right wing, goes back top of the key, Grand Jeanette. Holds it over her head, comes to Capacious in the lane, works back outside Grand Jeanette. 3 ball off to the left. Tigas chases it down, and she'll pick it up at 4:38. Into Crooks, working into the lane, turning 180, faces the bucket and puts it in.
Nice footwork by Crooks, and again, avoiding any possibility of a charge call. The Hancock crowd wanted a travel call there, but that's just good footwork.
Now a tie up in the lane, and this one is going to end up being a foul against Tigas, as she got her hands on Johansson's wrist that time.
You know, I've neglected to say that Aitchison, the tallest player for West Hancock, gives Crooks a challenge in there height-wise, has been on the bench for most of this third quarter, so she's going to be fresh when she comes in.
A bounce pass almost knocked away by Joyce, but Kelly picks it back up, works to the left around the perimeter. She'll take a three-pointer, bounces off to the right. It's getting cold in this gym. Rebound is ripped away from Crooks by Johansson. Johansson wants to go back outside. They'll rotate it around to Lear. Lear dives into the lane. Left-handed layup high off the window, but too high, and rebounded by Capacious. Capacious jogs into the front court under 4 minutes to go in the quarter. 38-14 Bishop Garrigan. Joyce dribbles it off a foot, picks it back up, whips it over to Crooks, powers it over the double team and scores.
That is unstoppable without Aitchison in there to give a little height to the equation.
40-14, and now a travel. The ball just lands. It's going to be taken by West Hancock. 40-14 the score right now with 3:39 on the clock. And Beanie, Bishop Garrigan's come out here in the third quarter with exactly the energy that Coach Schwab wanted.
Yeah, that lead has ballooned. And right off the bat, West Hancock executes a nice play for a jump shot. But since then, their offense has looked discombobulated. They don't seem to know who's where and who's open. They're creating a few shots, but Garrigan defense continues to do a really nice job on the West Hancock offense. You know, the West Hancock crowd is getting a little hot. They think there should be a few more fouls called on Audie Crooks, but she's so outsizing her opponents right now with Aitchison on the bench. She's going to overpower them on those moves to the hoop, and she's such a good enough player with her footwork. She's not creating charges. She's not traveling, but just dominating inside right now.
Crooks dominating inside. She's picked up some points here in the second half, and all of a sudden, you blink and she has 17 when it seemed in the first half. She wasn't getting a whole lot to drop, wasn't finding a whole lot of space, but now combination of offensive rebounding, some nice passing from the guards to get it inside to Crooks, and some mistakes here from West Hancock, and all of a sudden it's 40-14.
You know, and watching Audie over the last 3 years, what seems to crowds the most is everyone always thinks she's going over the back. Well, just because you're standing in front of Audie, since she's so much taller than you, just because she gets the rebound, just because you're in front of her doesn't make it a foul.
Now Granginette, a right angle three is drained, and it's 43-18. They let her shoot it again, and she said, sure, why not?
Well, and that's just a strategy for West Hancock.
Now ball's lost out of bounds, and it'll be another turnover here for the Eagles, who are just ripping apart at the seams.
Pretty common for opposing coaches to just pick the player that has the lowest shooting percentage, or maybe the one with the least points, whatever they decide, but they just say, well, we're going to double team Crooks, so whoever's guarding Granginette, don't leave Crooks. And Granginette is left wide open out there for the three-pointer, and I believe she's 2 for 2 today on those threes.
She's hit a couple three-pointers, and she right now has 8 points. Montag will try three, and she'll get in on the act. 46-14, everyone's hitting it tonight. 3:04 on the clock, foul inside, and this one's going to go against Bishop Garrigan and be their third foul of the half.
Montag has just continually played more minutes through the season because she just never seems to get cold. She's just always a hot shooting three-pointer. Like when you can't leave her open, it's just automatic.
West Hancock keeps it into play to Kelly, trying to give it to a cutting Johansson, got knocked away again though, and Capacious comes up with the loose ball. Under 3 minutes to go in the quarter. 46-14 now the score. Far side of the court to Joyce, right in front of the West Hancock student section, who hasn't had a whole lot to cheer about here in the second half. Into Capacious, now back outside Montag. Catch and fire three-pointer, rattles out. Crooks taps it to herself on the rebound, and Crooks had it knocked away from behind, peeled away and taken by Kelly. Turnover Bishop Garrigan. Kelly with pace, jumping into the lane, lost track of where she was, and threw it out of bounds. Eccles couldn't quite get there in time to catch the pass, and that'll be another turnover.
Yeah, boy, I have not been keeping track of turnovers, but I guarantee this is not the typical number of turnovers that the West Hancock Eagles commit. They're just really struggling. They're frantic. They're just doing a lot more traveling and errant passes than usual.
Capacious high lob, Montag, three ball on the way, rattles off. Capacious tips the rebound to herself again, and this time a jump ball is called.
Capacious was she was trying to get the ball out to Molly Joyce, who was wide open on the three-point line. But when you get that rebound, if you bring that ball down around your hips, it's going to get snagged.
And a timeout here, 30 seconds from Coach Sonius and West Hancock. Bishop Garrigan's the #1 rebounding team in the conference, which surprises probably no one. But even that being said, this is one of the most active rebounding nights I've seen out of the Golden Bears. And it's not just Crooks. The guards are getting in there and rebounding. Pretty much everyone is crashing the glass and getting those rebounds in this game. It seems like almost every possession is a board and a second chance.
Yeah, they really are. And while Coach Schwab didn't talk specifically about that before the game, I think when they look at the last time these two teams played, they realized that West Hancock got a significant more amount of rebounds than they needed to because they were really being so physical with Crooks down.
And not to mention the three-point defense here tonight, just such a huge key for Coach Schwab. And that's worked out tonight for the Golden Bears. Capacious floats, misses on the floater. Crooks tips it, pops loose. Capacious will track it all the way down out beyond the three-point line after several players touch it. Now Grand Jeanette, top of the key triple, and she banks it in!
Oh.
Hit it off the glass. She jogs casually back down the court saying, whoops, guess that worked. Now a dish inside Johansson, and she'll get fouled on the cut, and she'll shoot two. The look on Grand Jeanette's face after that three-pointer just told the whole story in itself.
Yeah, boy, she is just feeling it. Everything she's putting up. The bank is open on that one. I was busy looking to see if that was he's smiling going down the floor. That was a classic look by Emma Grand Jeanette after that shot. That was awesome.
And Johansson's foul shot rattles out as Grand Jeanette checks out. And we'll see Ashlyn Hovey come into the game for the first time tonight as the junior gets some playing time here. And one more foul shot on the way here for the senior Johansson. Johansson spins it up. That one's off the back of the rim too, and Montag snares the rebound. Up to Joyce with 1:46 on the clock. Joyce will fire an in-traffic three-pointer. That one is way long on the heat check. And Capacious rebounds in between three people and forces the jump ball. That one was just getting battled around there in the West Hancock crowd like a volleyball, and Capacious saw her opportunity and took it.
Yeah, she's got good hands on the ball. You know, that three-pointer by Joyce, a good look by Joyce. She can get that whenever she wants. She's done a really good job this third quarter of moving that ball around and being that point guard, directing traffic.
Far side of the court, Kelly Learer. Learer tonight still just 2 points. She'll try to change that. Left of the bucket, misses. Good defense by Capacious. Crooks will take a seat on the bench as Ella Mahler comes in. And we've got a running clock situation here, with the margin being 35. Both Learer and Kelly have 3 fouls for West Hancock. And they've combined for 7 points. 7 points and 6 fouls. Not the winning formula the Eagles were looking for here tonight. Into the near corner to Joyce with 32 seconds. Joyce dancing around, and another foul is going to be called. And they will get number 4 here against Kennedy Kelly.
She is an aggressive player, and in the last 2 games for sure, she has single-handedly willed her team back into the game. Last year in this gym at this time, and then early at Garrigan. And trying to do the same thing here, but it might be a lead too insurmountable.
7 seconds to go. Joyce picks her dribble back up, gets past Kelly, gets to the bucket, and she'll get fouled with 2 seconds left. Joyce will shoot 2 here. I think Kelly didn't want to be too aggressive that time and risk the blocking foul, so Joyce just kind of got around her and got to the bucket.
Yeah, Joyce just dribbling back and forth, getting that ball back and forth, looking for a moment to hit the Jets and get to the hoop. She doesn't need much of a seam. If she has a 2-foot gap in between 2 players, she seems to be able to knife her way through to the basket.
Joyce swishes that first foul shot from the charity stripe. 50-14 is the Bishop Garrigan advantage right now as Joyce has 12. 2.4 seconds left if Joyce does happen to miss this one. That one bounces off, and it is rebounded by Brugman. And West Hancock will let the time expire without getting a shot off. Another good quarter for Bishop Garrigan as they'll take it to the 4th, up 50-14 here from West Hancock High School and on Hometown Radio, KLGA.
Some days are amazing. Today isn't one of them. Lose your debit card and it's on a shopping spree without you? No worries. Just turn it off with the Brella app. This is Sherry Bankin at Security State Bank. The Brella mobile app helps you monitor your debit card by receiving alerts when your card is used. Get real-time fraud alerts. Check your account balance and find nearby ATMs. Ask us about the Brella app at Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things. like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base.
Sway City and West Bend.
Fourth, Bishop Garrigan has the basketball, and Beanie has this for a stat. Over the past 16 minutes of basketball, as Grand Jeanette fires a right-angle three, that one rattles off. Rebound, West Hancock. Over the last 16 minutes of basketball, West Hancock has 4 total points.
Wow, that is a uncanny stat, and I dare say that hasn't happened to the Eagles in the last couple of years, I'm sure.
2, but it was a 10-point first quarter for West Hancock, then 2 each in the third, as well as the second.
So Kelly drives the lane there on Crooks, and Crooks picks up the blocking foul. And Kelly, sportsman that she is, gives a pat to Audie on her way up. Like, those are 2 tough competitors out there in Crooks and Kelly. And, like, that strategy of Kelly driving to the basket on Crooks, you know, it's not going to be an issue here. But that's the kind of thing that frightens me down the road. You get a very physical guard like Kelly to drive one-on-one against Audie Crooks and pick up foul calls.
Kelly missed both foul shots, which is uncharacteristic. Normally about a 74% shooter, as Grand Jeanette somehow sidesteps Johansson and puts up an off-platform shot, making it 52-14. Down into shot there by Gopel. Foul, though, on the play. Crooks did block that one, but a foul is going to be called here, and that'll go against Grand Jeanette.
Yeah, Grand Jeanette doesn't take that off.
As both foul shots are good there for Gopel. Getting us briefly out of the free-throw shooting black hole we've seen tonight on both sides.
No kidding. Boy, and Emma Grand Jeanette, when they needed her to shoot those threes earlier in the game, that was a huge momentum turn.
Joyce passes away from the trap to Tigas. Now to Crooks in the post. Crooks left the bucket, goes off the glass and scores it again. 19 for this junior.
So now Aitchison is back in the game. She didn't play hardly at all the entire third quarter, and she's got the height to compete with Crooks, but Crooks' out-physicals are there.
Now rebound on miss 3, knuckles off to the near side. Johansson throws it off to Joyce out of bounds. Aitchison actually had 4 fouls. I must have missed the 4th one. I thought she only had 3, but they have her listed for 4 on the scoreboard, which is why she missed so much time there.
Yeah, I didn't see her pick up that 4th either. It must have been right at the beginning of the half.
Now with the basketball, it's Kelly again. With 6:26 on the clock, sidesteps, bypasses the 3 and gives to Aitchison. Crooks comes out to defend, pokes it away, but Aitchison picks it back up in the corner. A lot of traffic down there, falling down, and a foul's going to be called here against Bishop Garrigan as Johansson spilled there on the baseline.
Yeah, that was a high traffic corner. There was a fan coming out of the lobby. The cheerleaders are right there. The officials are there. Coach Sonius is there. There's about 14 people in a 14 square foot space there. Quite a congested corner of the West Hancock gym here.
And we'll see some free throws here down the stretch. That was the 7th foul on Bishop Garrigan. Right now, West Hancock has 6 in this half, so it's going to be 1-1 here for Johansson. And that one knuckles off the rim, and Crooks rebounds. Just the beat goes on here of the free throw shooting tonight. I think both coaches are going to point to that after the game. Grand Jeanette handling the basketball. She'll head down the lane, now kicks it over to Tigas. Tigas with 5:58 on the clock. Gives to Joyce. Joyce will take a couple steps backwards as she's guarded by Kelly. Works towards the right, gets the screen. Now she'll head down the lane. She'll float it with the left hand. Hops off the rim and drops through.
What a nice touch for Joyce. Going up in traffic, puts just enough finesse on that ball. Around and in.
56-16, the Bishop Garrigan advantage. 5:37 left in this one. And Golden Bears are steamrolling their way to what would be the 39th straight top of Iowa West win. Inside, Aitchison drops it, picks it back up, and Joyce reached in there and forced the jump ball before Aitchison could go up with the shots.
That was good hands by Joyce. She just put her right hand right on the ball and just tied it up. Classic jump ball.
Gopel inbound from the baseline, gets it in far corner to Kelly, dishes to a cutting Aitchison, turns around, shoots over Crooks, and that one gets nothing but glass, and Grand Jeanette rebounds.
You know, both these teams are such quality teams. This West Hancock team's going to do some damage in the turn.
Very interesting 2A bracket as the give is to Joyce. Joyce will stop for a jumper, and that one banks off the glass and misses. But Capacious gets the rebound. Works it back outside to Joyce. Left angle three-pointer, and she drops it in the bucket. Rainbow shot there makes it 59-16, and Joyce has 17 points.
It's incredible how easy sometimes things get when you're confident. Joyce just playing with utmost confidence there, just made a great play.
Gopel dances down the lane. He gets behind the defense for a layup. 59-18. West Hancock's bracket, though, consists of North Union, who they've split with, Emmitsburg, who's a very strong Twin Lakes team, and also Shibley-Ocheyedan, who may be the favorite in that bracket, as Crooks will bank one off the glass and make it 61-18.
No, that shot by Crooks brought to you by the assist of Molly. Just floats the ball up over the top of Aitchison, which is no easy task. Aitchison stands quite tall, and right into the hands of Crooks. That was a beautiful pass.
3:48 left to go in this one. It'll be a Brugman jumper here, bouncing off to Montag on the baseline. Montag was a little casual with the ball that time, and still with effort, Kelly steals it away. Gets it to Brugman on the elbow, misses off to the right on the jumper, and Joyce rebounds. Give Kelly credit as she's getting the floor burns here at the end. Long outlet to Crooks, and she scores it over the top of Learer. What a find that time from Molly Joyce.
Wow, pass by Joyce. And if you want to know what sets Audie Crooks apart from other post players, her running the floor, catching that pass like a wide receiver. Incredible haul-in.
Learer missed a right angle three. Joyce will shoot a three again. Bounces high off the rack, and Brugman secures the rebound. Bounces it near side to Kelly, and now just over 3 minutes left to go in this ball game. 63-18 Bishop Garrigan. You know, earlier in the season, I thought maybe that Garrigan win over North Union. The first one was their most complete game of the season, but this may be it as a three-point ball from Learer rattles out. Mahler grabs the rebound, pivots away from traffic, and gives.
Like they have really matched the physicality that West Hancock brings to the table. They've executed their offensive plays when they've tried to run them. They've gotten.
They'll put it in to make it 63-20. Timeout here, and here come the reserves. Bench going to be emptied for West Hancock as Learer and Kelly finish their night with a combined 9 points as well as 8 fouls as they check out of the ball game. Crooks still in for Bishop Garrigan, but that's about to change here as they're running all their subs over to the scoring table. Crooks will finish with 23 points. Kaylin Capacious comes in, Reagan Murphy for Bishop Garrigan, also Elena Casey, Joyce Montag, Crooks all head to the bench. So it's going to be Kaylin Capacious as well as Murphy. Hovey's on the court right now for Bishop Garrigan, Mahler, and Casey. So that'll be it for the final 148 of this game as Golden Bears reserves will look to get on the scoreboard here. 63-20 right now as Casey passes it left to Capacious, now back over to the right. And heading to the baseline and traveling that time, and that's going to be Murphy on the travel.
Yeah, Murphy saw a seam to the basket. She wanted to drive to the hoop there, but had that ball in her right hand. I think it kind of went off her leg a little bit, and she knew she was either going to double, triple, or travel. She tried to hide it pretty well. She almost got away with it, but the crowd helped the official see that clear.
1:14 to go in this one. West Hancock basketball as there's a pass tipped into the lane and taken by Hovey. Hovey will head into the front court here as we tick down towards 1 minute to go. Now it's Murphy. Inside Capacious, catches in the lane, puts it off the glass and left it short. Got knocked out of bounds, and now a pushing foul here with 57 seconds to go. That one is looking to be against the Golden Bears. We'll see who the guilty party was, and they'll get Mahler on that one.
That was a well-executed play by the girls in the game right now. They have not played as much JV this year as they would have liked, or as Coach Schwab and everyone would have liked, just because Garrigan is low on numbers.
1-1 here from the foul line, missed off to the right by Brugman, and Hovey tracks down the rebound for the Golden Bears. Bishop Garrigan heading towards win number 17 of the season, and they'll continue that three-pointer. Banks off the glass, no good with 43 seconds to go, and here comes West Hancock. It's a pass down inside, little jumper from the baseline, and that one is through for Paige Coogee, scoring here on senior night.
Hey, nice to see the senior get that bucket. So these girls, what typically happens, the girls on the floor right now for Bishop Garrigan typically get to play about 2 quarters. If they played a full 4, they would play too many quarters likely.
That's right, accounting for the JV games, you have a limited amount of quarters you can play in a given period of time. 16 seconds to go. Hovey flips it over to the right to Murphy. We'll see if the Golden Bears just run it out here or if they try one more shot for the reserves. Looks like they're about ready to run it out as the final 5 seconds will tick away. Casey will dribble on the road, and they take apart West Hancock tonight and make a big statement with perhaps their most impressive win of the year. 63-22 the final score as the Golden Bears pick up their 39th straight top of Iowa West win, and they just keep on rolling. We'll take a timeout here and come back to wrap this one up next on Hometown Radio KLGA and the Algona Radio YouTube live stream.
For over 40 years, North offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
For Sports Club members, bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Rental Zone, Highway 18 East in Algona. The tool and equipment rental specialist. Phone 395-RENT.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle. Passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio at 1400 East Commercial in Algona or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
Daylight Donuts, open early, serving yummy donuts, rolls, and great coffee. Located at 502 South Phillips Street.
Signworks for all your signage needs, as well as printed shirts, caps, and jackets. Stop in or call 295-9544.
Farm and Home Services. Check their many listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Pizza Ranch. Eat in or delivery. Catering also available.
TAFE Wellness Center. Dr. Shane TAFE. Keeping athletes in the game with chiropractic care. Located at 105 South Phillips Street in Algona.
All sponsors of this broadcast.
Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Iowa. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us high school sports. There's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Iowa High School Athletic Association and the Iowa High School Athletic Directors Association.
Tyler Lance, Beanie Bodie back with you here on Hometown Radio KLGA and on the Algona Radio YouTube live stream as our streaming by Chemna Auto, where it's not just about the car, it's about the care. Algona State Farm Insurance Agent Billy Offerman. Algona Municipal Utilities, where they're community-owned for community benefit. And Families of Bishop Garrigan High School, all streaming sponsors here on the YouTube page. Also, Greg Penning and Company Certified Public Accountants, our scoreboard sponsor for tonight, as the scoreboard reads 63-22 Bishop Garrigan. Golden Bears pick up the win, and they improve to 17-3 on the season, 15-0 in the top of Iowa West. Beanie, that was some kind of statement tonight by the Golden Bears.
Yeah, that was. Boy, I think that game where they beat West Hancock by 1 point and narrowly escaped with the win in the Bishop Garrigan gym, I think they were determined not to let that happen again. You know what, I was a little bit fearful. Garrigan has celebrating Catholic Schools Week, and on Friday of Catholic Schools Week, all these kids choose an activity. Some go skating, some go skiing, some go fishing. And, you know, sometimes that change of pace and a day of activity, I mean, I think most of these girls didn't go skiing, but, you know, sometimes they don't play the same. And because of that, Tyler, I thought it was going to be a very close game. But you had the vision before the game when we were talking off the air. You said you thought Garrigan was going to win convincingly, and indeed you were correct. But who would have thought that they were going to do it with their defense? Coach Schwab says in the pregame, hey, we're going to go out and score 70 points. They almost made it. They scored 63. But he said, we're going to score 70 points and make other teams like West Hancock try to score as many as us. But I did not expect the Garrigan defense to limit the scoring of West Hancock to so few points. But part of that was because of the excellent game plan, face guarding Mallory Lear, face guarding Kennedy Kelly with Abby Capacious, Emma Jeanette, Molly Joyce, and Zoe Montag when she came in. Boy, it just created a unbearable situation for the West Hancock offense. Aitchison gets in foul trouble, and pretty soon their offense was struggling. But, yeah, very impressive win for Bishop Garrigan, both offensively and defensively. And as a teacher of these kids, I was just glad to see they were having fun doing it. Like, they were enjoying this game. Garrigan has blown out some teams this season and looked at their faces and looked like they were not having a good time. They're not enjoying it. They're struggling. Even though they're winning, they weren't playing their best basketball, and the girls knew it. So tonight they knew they were playing well, and they were enjoying it. And it's nice to see those two sync up, and perfect timing.
Beanie, I think you bring up a fantastic point. I mean, how many times tonight did we see Crooks laughing as she was heading down the court, Emma Grandjeanette just shrugging after hitting another three-pointer?
Right.
This was the loosest the Golden Bears have played all season.
And not just when they were up big. They were doing that early in the game. I mean, it was 1-point game after the first quarter.
Yes.
But Garrigan was already playing calm and relaxed and moving the ball well and smiling at each other. And, yeah.
Totally different than the first time these two teams matched up when the Golden Bears, it seemed like they felt the pressure of facing West Hancock, were a little tense, especially when the game got close. I think that first game, Bishop Garrigan came out, they might have been expecting to run away with it, and then when West Hancock was close, all of a sudden things got a little tense. Here tonight, Golden Bears had it close early in the first quarter, like you said, 1-point game, but then those middle 2 quarters, Bishop Garrigan just exploded and dominated. Between the second quarter and third quarter, Bishop Garrigan had a 39-4 scoring edge. I mean, holding a team as high quality as West Hancock to 4 points over the course of 2 quarters is insane. I mean, they're the number 3 team right now in offense in the top of Iowa West. I mean, they're good. They're 16-5 now if the loss. It's not like they are a slouch of a team, and you held them to 4 points in the middle 2 quarters. That was an elite defensive effort. Bishop Garrigan had fun doing it. They looked relaxed, and again, complete game. Helped a little bit by an off shooting night for West Hancock, but part of that was just the pressure Bishop Garrigan put on them.
Yeah, that was some good defensive pressure. Another thing that went well for Garrigan is that, in my opinion, having seen them play now 4 or more times, Kennedy Kelly, Mallory Lear, Aitchison, Scout Johansson, very excellent ball players, but they're very streaky. When that team gets going, they can score a lot of points in a hurry. And every time it looked like they were going to start a scoring streak, they went to go on in the first quarter, they went on a 6-0 run, and Garrigan was able to clamp that down right away. And every time it looked like one of those players was going to get going offensively, Garrigan had an answer of their own offensively, or they changed up the defense from and just clamped it down. Their man-to-man was really good tonight. Sometimes when Garrigan goes man-to-man, there's a little bit of a hiccup, but it was a smooth man-to-man defense. Only a couple times did their defense get caught out of position in this game.
So we'll take a quick look at some final scoring numbers for tonight. On the Bishop Garrigan side of things, it was Audie Crooks of 23 points, Molly Joyce of 17, and Emma Grandjeanette with 13 to lead the way. West Hancock, not a whole lot of offense here tonight. Kennedy Kelly had 5 points, and Mallory Lear had 4. Between them, they're averaging about 28 points a game. Tonight, Bishop Garrigan held them to 9, and in addition to that, they committed 8 fouls between them, so almost as many fouls as points. Both teams will want to shoot some foul shooting better in their upcoming games, so that is certainly something to work on going forward. As coming up, Bishop Garrigan will face North Iowa on Monday, then they'll have Dyke New Hartford on Tuesday, one of the best schools in 2A, and that'll wrap up the regular season for the Golden Bears. West Hancock just one more game, as they'll face Eagle Grove coming up on Monday and wrap up their regular season. We wrap up our first poll, and even if it doesn't, you've got our audio stream as well, 92.7 FM, algonaradio.com if you're looking for the internet audio, all coming to you with the second game coming up next between Bishop Garrigan and West Hancock. In the meantime, we'll step aside for a timeout. Those of you listening on the radio will hear a couple quick words from our sponsors, and then we'll get an ABC News update. For those of you watching on the live stream, stick with us. We'll be back for the tip-off of Bishop Garrigan and West Hancock coming up in about 12 minutes.
More Sports Club Miss broadcast.
Jensen Chiropractic, care for the whole family.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce. 2 sauces for all seasons.
Erpelding Excavating, let them take care of your grading, excavating, and drainage needs.
Farm Bureau Financial Services. Coverage and protection for what matters most. Visit with local agents David Weiss, Jason Brace, Daniel Folk, and Michael Toll.
Sudol Tax and Accounting. Full-service tax and accounting services from the professionals at Sudol Tax and Accounting. Call 395-1040. They see beyond the numbers.
Holmes Animal Clinic, caring for your pets from their location at Highway 18 East. They now have an indoor unit to serve equine, cattle, sheep, and goats. Also on-site boarding for cats and dogs.
Oakcrest Funeral Services, helping families celebrate a life lived.
All members of the Sports Club bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these Sports Club members.
Algona Frame and Auto Body Collision Specialist, a total commitment to excellence.
Water Connection, from softeners to bottled water and service, call 295-SOFT.
Dump It, commercial and residential garbage. They do the dirty work so you don't have to.
Hy-Vee, use the fuel saver, fill your cart, fuel your car.
Algona Livestock Auction, Highway 169 North, sale every Monday.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
Style Salon, your salon in Algona. Create yourself.
Farmers State Bank, proud to be part of our community for 125 years, with offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Chemco Tires.
Hometown and Home Country Radio.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Iowa did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
We get ready for game number 2 of our basketball doubleheader here on Hometown Radio KLGA and on the Algona Radio YouTube live stream. Game number 1 saw Bishop Garrigan Hancock, and game number 2 sees another intense rivalry matchup between the Golden Bears and the Eagles. I'm Tyler Lance, my partner is Beanie Bodie. And Beanie, Bishop Garrigan's won 5 of their last 7 games. They are really playing some good basketball coming down the stretch here and headed toward postseason. And perhaps on Tuesday, they got their most competitive win of the season, beating Forest City after being down by 7 points in the fourth quarter. A win like that could be huge for the confidence of this team.
Oh, yeah, that was a fantastic win at Forest City. Being down by 7 with a few minutes to go and then just playing hard, getting a couple great baskets. It was a big win in Forest City the other night for the Bears. That was exciting. But this game tonight could be really exciting because the Bears come into it knowing that this is a team that they can beat. They were right with them the first time around. In fact, a lot of these teams here wrapping up the season for the Bears bounce their way. They can turn those L's into W's. So the West Hancock game, the Bears have got to be hungry for it. They, like you said, Tyler, they're playing some really good basketball lately, and they should come into this game fearless, playing against a team that they know that they can play with.
And And certainly it was an overtime matchup the first time these two teams met up back at Bishop Garrigan High School, but here tonight is at West Hancock High School, and a very different looking Golden Bear team since the last time these two teams matched up. And one thing that really sticks out to me, especially over the past couple of games, has just been new players stepping up for Bishop Garrigan. I mean, Aiden Hovey, he's been lighting it up with his shooting, 64% over the past 3 games, and he's had 3 straight double-digit scoring games. Grant Hoagland's had a couple 10-point scoring games over the past stretch of ball games for Bishop Garrigan as well. Just new guys rotating in. It seems like the lineup's in a constant flux for Bishop Garrigan, but that's because they're a young team, they're learning what they have, and all of a sudden, guys who were on the bench before are stepping up.
Yes, and Ryan Noonan's been ill, has come on really strong. He just swished a 30-foot three-pointer in front of me. He was the athlete of the week. I heard his interview with you where he talked about how he's really expanded his game. I totally agree with him. I know exactly what he meant the other night at Forest City. He was cutting to the basket. He was handling the ball. He was really moving well without the ball. So he's really been coming on strong. And like you said, Aiden Hovey, his shooting percentage is so great because he's been so tough in the paint. It's the three-point play, huge turnaround for the Bears, but he is playing really well physically. He's playing real hard. Started off the season not so great, and now he's just really coming on strong. And I know he's just really won this team over, and he's playing some great basketball right now. Andrew Fogarty just shooting lights out the last couple games. He got open for some three-pointers a week ago, and it was raining three-pointers from Andrew Fogarty's hand. And the other night at Forest City, he did everything he needed to get his team a victory. He played inside, he played outside, he handled the ball, he played defense. He was also, Coach Meister's really putting this team together. He's kind of got a challenge. He's had a lack of players, and the 6 that he's had, and Drew Moeller coming in, like he's got this core group that's playing really, really, really well together. And if he can carry that through and get another win at West Hancock tonight, it should give the Bears a lot of good feelings going into this postseason.
Meanwhile, on the other side of things, West Hancock has gotten inconsistent offensive production this season as they're averaging under 49 points a game, but they've been a very solid defensive team, and they have one player on offense in Ryland Barnes who can take a game over. The 3rd leading scorer in the top of Iowa West. Bishop Garrigan is going to have their eyes locked on him all night long, as Barnes is capable of dropping 20 points on any given night. But senior night here at West Hancock, nice big crowd settled in again for game number 2 as they're ready to introduce the starting lineups. We'll take one quick timeout and come back with the game next on Hometown Radio.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Call PMC Advantage with offices in Algona, Burt, Corwith, Garner, Sway City, and West Bend.
When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at MoneyPass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
Starting lineup time for tonight's game. As for Bishop Garrigan, the starting 5 will consist of the junior Jack Grangenet, the senior Grant Hoagland, the junior Aiden Hovey, the senior Jacob Learer, and the junior Drew Fogarty. For West Hancock, they bring out the junior Rhett Eisenman, the junior Ryland Barnes, the senior Braden Walk, the senior Logan Learer, and the senior Ty Peterson. Beanie, your final thoughts here before tonight's game?
Well, after seeing the lineups here, the West Hancock players look like they've grown. I don't remember them being this big the first time around we played them. So this could be a physical game, but Garrigan's played physical all year. But, man, I'd love to see the Bears pull off this win and get that 3-game winning streak going here, and looking forward to a Monday game against North Iowa. Really send out the season on a high note. Let's look for Jacob Lear's going to win this tip against Ryland Barnes. Get it to Jack Grangenet, who's been starting the games great lately. Had a steal to start the Forest City game. Let's see him get this ball and go for a layup.
As the tip is won here by West Hancock, and we are underway here from West Hancock High School. Heading from right to left on your radio dial, and into the near corner they get it to Eisenman. Eisenman comes back outside for the Eagles. White jerseys here for West Hancock tonight. Bishop Garrigan with black and yellow. A pass to the cutting Barnes goes off his hands. Hovey dives and collects it, but throws it right back to Barnes in the lane. Barnes backs up, glimpses at the basket, goes outside Peterson. His free ball wedges, and it drops down into Jacob Lear's hands.
Interesting play. Rylan Barnes cut to the lane. Great play by Hovey to get the steal, but then Barnes rips it right away.
Hovey turns 360, makes a quick cut to the basket, and a push and a foul against West Hancock here, as that'll go against number 13, Logan Lear. 7:24 on the clock here. Jack Grandjeanette will inbounds from underneath the basket just to the far side of the court. Holds the ball over his head, looks, sees Hoagland top of the key, and he'll catch it. Hoagland goes left onto the wing to Hovey. Hovey has gotten 13 assists over the past 2 games, as now the ball is down into the near corner. Hoagland all the way back across to Fogarty. Foul line Hovey, turnaround jumper off the back of the iron. Rebound tips off of Barnes' hands and goes to Lear. Lear runs, bounces to Peterson, has trouble collecting it, and goes to Lear along the baseline. Into the lane it goes, now back onto the elbow to Barnes. He pump fakes, heads, turns around. Fadeaway jumper off the front of the rim. Fogarty rebounds on the baseline.
Nice job tap-toeing down the sideline by Fogarty to keep that from going out of bounds.
Now Hoagland will go down to the baseline, and he'll travel on the play and turn it over here.
Kind of a topsy-turvy start to the game. Both teams look a little out of sync. Garrigan showing great patience on offense. That last time down, they got a great look by Aiden Hovey in the lane there, but passed up some open shots, good patience, working for a good shot. Neither of these teams seem... Whoa!
Rylan Barnes, a deep three-pointer. He tried to bank it in, but it rattled out. That one was halfway in between half court and the three-point line, and that one nearly banked in.
Aiden Hovey is as shocked as I was when that ball went up. He was way, way out. That was NBA three-point line, just as I was talking about how Garrigan's showing patience. Big foul call on Barnes.
You're right. Barnes got a foul called against him away from the play as he was trying to get open. That'll be the first on him, second on West Hancock.
Boy, he was just cutting through the lane, and just to create a little separation between him and the defender, he just pushed off with his arms, and the official was looking right at it and caught it. That usually doesn't.
Gets from Hovey, misses right at the rim, follows it up though, and gets it to fall. 2-0 Bishop Garrigan.
I'll tell you, one thing I don't talk about enough is Andrew Fogarty's ability to get his own rebound after a missed shot. He is battling after a miss.
Bishop Garrigan dares Braden Walk to shoot it, comes up short on the three-point ball, and Fogarty rebounds. Fogarty has 3 double-doubles this season, and he's been close to a couple more. As now Jacob Lear will try a 3, and he line drives and he'll push. Barnes slicing into the lane, fighting up the shot, bouncing off the back of the rim, and Hovey rebounds.
Jacob Lear made a huge three-pointer the other night at Forest City to keep Garrigan and get them right back in the game.
Fogarty right angle 3, and that one bristles off the net out of bounds. Came up well short on that one, and again, both teams still looking for that touch on offense early in this game.
Peterson comes out of the game, and Smith enters for West Hancock. I'll tell you, Rylan Barnes is his fault.
Peterson got the start for senior night as a sophomore. Smith, like you said, replaces him. Barnes into the center of the paint, tried to turn around, goes into the near corner to Smith. Catch and fire 3, and he drains it fresh off the bench. 3-2 West Hancock. Smith smooth on that jumper. Now Jacob Lear's down in the near corner. They back off him and dare him to shoot it again, but this time he'll work the offense. Hovey at the foul line, takes a look at the basket, now comes right to Fogarty. Fogarty lobbed down low, and that one went over everyone out of bounds. That was a little out of Lear's reach.
Well, he thought Lear was going to make a cut, but Lear looked at the opponents there and didn't think he could get in there, I think, and just an errant one got away. The timeout on the floor.
Coach Meister takes it, and it'll be a 30-second timeout here. As I think this is a good point to call a timeout.
Yeah.
You're down by 1, both teams struggling on offense, and you just had an empty turnover possession.
Yeah, for sure. Garrigan's moving the ball around real well. I'm sure Coach Meister just wants to say, okay, this is how they're responding to our offensive setup, and this is what we're going to do. I expect he's probably going to have looks at the basket, maybe slash to the basket out of that 5-out set, and that could be good for the Bears here. Defensively, Bears are doing great. Rylan Barnes has been in the lane a couple times, and they've collapsed on him really well and hasn't been able to get any easy buckets up.
So coming out of the timeout, 5:04 on the clock here, 3-2 West Hancock lead. They'll have the basketball here with Eisman. Pump fakes and passes it to the right to Braden Walk. Right angle triple. It's a little bit long. It pops out. Lear got a finger on it. And now up to Grandjeanette. Tips the ball past everyone. Goes to the bucket and puts it in. What an athletic play that time from Grandjeanette. He split the gap.
He's just so good at that. He has just such a good nose for the ball on the open floor and is so great at finishing at the hoop on a breakaway.
Now Smith up top, goes all the way to the right to Walk. Walk slices towards the lane, stops inside the foul line, gives it off to Eisenman. He nails an elbow jumper. Nothing but net that time.
Eisenman can heat up. We're going back to that Grand Jeanette play. You know, he has those skills to get to the hoop. And those kind of hustle plays, they come back and haunt a team like West Hancock later. Jack Grand Jeanette just beat them to the ball.
Hovey faces the bucket, comes to Jacob Lear. Hoagland baseline cut, floater, bounces off the rim. It's rebounded by Barnes, and then a foul appears to go against Hoagland here on the attempt to rebound.
That was just a nice look by Hoagland on the baseline. That's what he's talking about. He's not just a three-point shooter. He makes a nice cut on the baseline. His teammate finds him. He puts up the left-handed floater. It just didn't go in. And in frustration, I think that's why he got that foul just now, trying to get that rebound. Crack at the basket.
Drew Mahler replaces Hoagland for Bishop Garrigan as the freshman gets some run here. Pass into the near quarter. Mitchell Smith again. That one came up a little short. Knuckled off to the weak side, and Barnes chased down the offensive board. Now with the basketball, it's Eisenman. Heads to the left and flips it over to Smith. Smith, the sophomore, surveys, goes back to the right to Walk. They'll back off him. Walk will drive. Head left of the lane. High off the window, and he spun it in.
That time, Garrigan was daring Walk to shoot the three-pointer. He's missed two. And that time he said, I'm not falling for it, Garrigan. I'm going to take it inside.
And pass is knocked down there, and a foul's going to be called here against Bishop Garrigan. 7-4 on the scoreboard right now. As right now it's West Hancock leading the Golden Bears. And Grand Jeanette will have it for Bishop Garrigan. Into the high post, Hovey. A turnaround jumper off the front of the rim. Rebounded Fogarty. He'll go back up and he'll score it. 7-6 now, West Hancock leading it. Nemers into the game for the Golden Bears. First time here tonight we've seen him. Now it's Barnes. Barnes starts to attack, and then he'll stop. Hovey stays in front with active hands. Over to the right to Walk. They're giving Walk space. Walk goes across the foul line again. Looks for the baseline cut. It's not there. Works it outside. Three ball on the way, and that is drained. Evan Hinders for three. Makes it 10-6, West Hancock.
Well, last time Fogarty shows his power inside. Let's see if we can get that again.
And Nemers tried to find a cutting Hovey. That one knuckled off an eagle, and then a foul on Bishop Garrigan as West Hancock tried to get out in transition.
Logan Nemers hanging his head a little bit. Get your head up. That happens. Everyone does that once in a while. He just saw a cutter. He thought he could thread the needle and get the pass in there, and good defensive play. They knocked it away. So got to keep your head up, stay positive. Logan's in there right now with Drew Moeller, two young players. You're going to see a lot of them in the future.
Driving in left of the lane is Walk. Goes off the glass. No, as it knuckles out to Nemers. Up to Grand Jeanette with 2:25 on the clock. Grand Jeanette heads towards the right. They throw a double team at him, and he scoops to Fogarty. Catch and fire three-pointer, and he drains it.
Hot shooting Drew Fogarty.
10-9 is the lead right now for West Hancock. Fogarty gets Bishop Garrigan in with a triple. Into the lane, offensive foul. Smith crashed into Grand Jeanette. That was a size advantage that time. Or check that, that's Walk who crashed into Grand Jeanette. And he held his ground there.
Grand Jeanette took a hit. Smith and Aiden Hovey are laughing about that one. Smith, I'm just going to wager, is a fantastic football player for the state champion West Hancock Eagles, and he just put a serious hit on Jack Grand Jeanette, who did a heck of a job taking the charge. He's a little woozy getting up. The officials are giving him a little extra time, but that was the easiest call in the world. Sometimes charge calls are hard to make, but that one was as easy as they come.
Now Hovey will throw it behind Fogarty and out of bounds. Fogarty has started to move towards the basket, and Hovey didn't see him in time.
You know how I knew that was an easy call to make? There was zero argument from anybody in the entire gymnasium. And it wasn't. He didn't do it maliciously. It was just a basketball play, and charge delivered, charge taken, over.
Yeah, it's rare. You have hundreds of officials, some of them wearing black, some of them saying red, and they all said, yep, that's an offensive foul.
That's a charge.
West Hancock basketball here with 1:51 on the clock. Up at the top, it's Learer, guarded by Fogarty. Learer starts to dribble, flips it left to Walk, head fakes, goes to the lane, works back outside, top of the key. Eisenman triple, off the back of the rim, and Mahler rebounds. It leads to transition. Now Mahler will pull it up here and wait. Bounce to Fogarty, edge of the logo. High post to Hovey, now back to the right Fogarty. Another catch and fire triple. That one is a little bit off the mark. Rebounded by Mahler, got it knocked away though, and it'll be last touched by Ryland Barnes for West Hancock.
Oh, I'll tell you what, that was a very savvy rebound by Drew Moeller. He didn't have inside position, so he just used his hip, put it perpendicular to his opponent's hips, and just leaned in with his tall frame and tapped that ball to himself.
Substitution as Hollis Bodie's into the game for Bishop Garrigan. Now Fogarty inside to Nemmers. Nemmers' pass got knocked down, and the follow by Drew Mahler is blocked, but a foul is going to be called against Ryland Barnes. That'll be his second.
That will be a second foul. Oh, boy, Logan Nemmers almost threw it away again, but Drew Mahler with their good hands gathers it up off the floor and took it up strong to the glass. You know, you take it up strong to the glass, you force players like Ryland Barnes to try to block you and pick up a foul, and he's going to have to take a seat here, and he's not going to be happy about it, but that young man's got 2 fouls in the first period.
We'll see if Bishop Garrigan decides to aggressively attack at Barnes, see if they can draw a third foul out of him. Mahler switches both. Golden Bears have the 11-10 lead. West Ham factor here fairly soon, too, as he was fouled on the play.
On Andrew Fogarty, picking up a blocking foul.
That'll be Fogarty's first. Third on Bishop Garrigan, and with 1:14 left here, shooting just under 70% from the line. We'll shoot a couple here. And he'll drain that first one. That'll tie it up at 11. So far here in the boys' game, there hasn't quite been the same jinx that there was in the girls' game with the missed free throw shooting.
Well, I talked to the rims between games. I went out on the floor, had a little conversation with the rims, told them to...
That should lead to a higher scoring game here in this one, perhaps, as Bodie catches with 1:13 on the clock, gets across half court. He'll pick up his dribble and go right to Fogarty. Looks inside to Mahler, center of the lane. Turn around, off the back of the rim. Nemmers vacuums in the rebound, but he stumbled backwards as he did it.
Oh.
Nemmers was yelling for the foul there, but he'll get the travel instead.
I think he was more so yelling like, I never even had the ball. I was just tipping it around. But I guess he had enough possession of it to get a travel called here. Hovey's going to come back in the game.
Bodie will head to the bench. Cal Berkey into the ball game as well. But he's right away checked out of the game as Grand Jeanette comes in, as Berkey played about 2 seconds there.
Well, I know Berkey was in to play some defense, but he never got the chance to get in there before the ball went the other way.
Barnes outside of the lane goes into the far corner to walk. Now back to Barnes. 51 seconds to go. The give to Eisenman. Hand off to Walk, who curls around, stops at the foul line, dishes it. Smith banging inside, high off the window, no. And fought rebound. Now up to Fogarty with 39 seconds. 12-11 West Hancock. Bounce to the baseline, Mahler. Mahler looks, turns around towards the bucket, and a double dribble will be called.
Yeah, I think the freshman, Drew Muller, he was going to do a power dribble, but then he wanted to dribble again, but he had already put 2 hands on the basketball. Getting called for the double dribble. So Logan Nemmers just hit the deck. He took a big hit from Smith, and he's going to get a breather here. Bodie's going to come in and play some defense for the last 30 seconds.
And Barnes will casually bring it into the front court here with his flowing hair coming out of the headband. Kicks it near corner to Walk. Walk into the lane. Left-handed floater. Short off the glass. And Barnes gets the rebound. Falls but keep his dribble. And now a foul here. Fogarty's exasperated, but we'll see if they get that on him. And they do, which is his second.
Tell you what, Barnes did. He got the ball while I was on the floor, and he was able to dribble it as he stood up. And Fogarty had the kill instinct. He's like, well, I'm just going to let him stand up dribbling the ball. I'm going to at least try to make him travel or something. Went over, tried to slap at the ball, and got called for a kind of a ticky-tack foul. He's going to have to go to the bench with 2. But I tell you what, Garrigan's got a good opportunity here as Hancock size is not in there.
Barnes will sit here for the final 14 seconds. It's Walk working it outside. Right angle 3, Eisenman. Line drives it off the rim. 8 seconds to go, and Grand Jeanette picks up the basketball. 5 seconds across half court. Grand Jeanette over to Bodie. Goes to the foul line. Hovey. 1 second. Hovey doesn't know how much time there was. Got it to Mahler. And he's long on the 3 at the buzzer. Hovey had just enough time to get that one off to Mahler. Mahler a little bit long on the 3-pointer, and that ends the first quarter. It's West Hancock 12, Bishop Garrigan 11, right here on Hometown Radio, KLGA, and the Algona Radio YouTube live stream.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
If you're not filling with Cenex Premium Diesel, then you're not giving your fuel system the premium treatment. Cenex Roadmaster XL comes with a more complete additive package for a more complete burn, while restoring your power by up to 4.5% and your fuel economy by up to 5%. Typical number 2 diesel? I guess it covers the basics. Cenex Premium Diesel. Diesel that doesn't mess around.
Contact Cooperative, your certified Cenex distributor at 1-800-445-4118.
Off and rolling in the second quarter. Bishop Garrigan with the basketball, heading left to right on the radio dial. Hoagland catches the feed from Fogarty. Ball is way short. It'll go out of bounds here, and not a lot of space there for the Golden Bears, as it'll go back to West Hancock. Right now on the floor, it's Grand Jeanette, Hoagland, Lear, Fogarty, and Hovey for Bishop Garrigan.
Lear had a good break there on the bench. He should be fresh. He is the tallest player on the floor right now. See if that can produce some good rebounds for the Bears.
Over to the right to Walk. Takes one dribble to the left and flips it over to Lear. Lear working against Hoagland. Now goes back to the outside Eisenman. Up to the top it goes to Mitchell Smith. Now over to the right to Barnes. Barnes penetrating. Turns all the way around with a full 360 that time. And he'll be fouled on the play. So Barnes will head to the line for two. He was held scoreless there in the first quarter.
Yeah, boy, Bears are doing a great job on Barnes.
Drains that foul shot. Fogarty's going to be immediately replaced by Drew Mahler.
Oh, there was a lot of traffic in there. Could have been anybody's foul there, but they got Drew Fogarty for it well lately, and he's tough inside of the basketball, doing everything for the Bears.
Barnes a little bit long on that foul shot, and Hovey rebounds it for the Golden Bears. 7:21 on the clock, 13-11 West Hancock. Grand Jeanette spills to the deck, gets it off to Hoagland though. Now back up near half court to Mahler. Tries to dribble in between the double team, almost lost it, went into Lear's hands. Lear forced the jump ball on Lear that time.
Yeah, Lear, that did not turn out the way he wanted to. He's not used to handling the ball up there at the top of the key, but Grand Jeanette was getting pressured at half court. If Hancock decides to start pressuring Jack Grand Jeanette just as soon as he crosses the half court line, Bears are going to have to respond with a strategy to that.
So 13-11 West Hancock after the Bishop Garrigan jump ball. Gives the ball back to West Hancock. Barnes a pull-up triple. Knuckles off to the near side, and Grand Jeanette has the rebound. Jogs it into the front court, splits the double team, gets to the lane and gets stripped. Hovey picks it back up for the Golden Bears, and now a foul is going to be called here against West Hancock. Foul number 6.
I think that's going to be on David Smith.
It will be Smith, and that'll be the second for the sophomore.
Well, I was curious because Ryland Barnes was in the vicinity and picking up a foul on him, although he hasn't done much offensively. He's
time as well. He's not going to miss all night long. Up to the top, Hoagland, now over to the right, Fogarty. Fogarty takes a couple dribbles, trying to work around traffic as Gunnar Faust is guarding him. Now to Hovey, one step inside the three-point line, heads into the lane, sees the double team, pumps, turns 360, and kicks out to Grand Jeanette. 6:30 on the clock. Grand Jeanette will bring it back to the center. They're running a lot of pressure at him. Now coming to Mahler. Mahler, the double team, bouncing it away to Hovey. Hovey tries to penetrate, kicks out to Lear. Now just to the left of center, Grand Jeanette. Grand Jeanette dribbles around traffic towards the right, now switches back to the left. 6:15 on the clock. Long possession here for Bishop Garrigan. Hoagland up top, now shovels it over to Mahler. Bounce pass back to Hoagland, turns away from traffic, keeps the ball safe. Now out to Mahler, fakes, dishes to the foul line. Hovey down the lane, dumps it inside Lear. It is rejected. Mitchell Smith caught up and blocked that one out of bounds.
Boy, the Bears are going to keep the ball, and thank goodness. That was just too good of a possession by the Bears to not get points out of this. They are facing tremendous pressure on the perimeter by West Hancock. They've really decided to start pressuring up top. All the pressure, Jack Grand Jeanette, Aiden Hovey breathing hard, Drew Muller breathing hard. But they got to look inside eventually. They handled the ball well, no turnovers, good job.
Hoagland lobs it into play, and that one came up short, but it got knocked right into the hands of Hovey. Dishes to Hoagland, and he's cherry-picking right at the basket for a layup, tying it at 13.
Oh, it couldn't have turned out better for the Bears.
Oh, a great pass from Ryland Barnes that time. Fed it to Braden Walk, and he put it in to make it 15-13. Barnes turned in the air, redirected, and made the pass, and then Walk was open for the layup. Now a turnover, Bishop Garrigan. Up to Lear, wide open layup, and he'll put it in. 17-13 West Hancock.
Oh, the Bears got to come up with another good possession. They are going to get a timeout to talk about that. Yeah, they're playing good. They just don't want to let it slip away here.
Full timeout, Coach Meister. We'll take it right with him. Back in 60 seconds on Hometown Radio, KLGA.
More Sports Club members. House.
Grassmasters. Get tips and advice from their lawn care professionals. Grassmasters. Growing satisfied customers.
American Glass for all your glass needs.
Practic massage, nutritional care, and physical therapy services.
Dr. Bill Stroman, giving you something to smile about.
Jake Ingalls Electric. For shockingly good service, call 320-4286.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
all bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Out of the timeout, it's Bishop Garrigan basketball trailing West Hancock 17-13. They try to trap. Bishop Garrigan gets it away to Hovey in the lane. Now back outside over to Hoagland. Right angle three-pointer. Rattles around and pops out.
Oh, everywhere but down the cylinder. Oh, that was a good look by Hoagland. Hovey's getting that ball in the paint.
Jeanette just shot in there like a rocket, but also committed the foul.
Yeah, that was a good jump on the ball by Grant Jeanette. He's been doing that really well. Started off the game against Forest City, I believe, with a steal for a layup. Just a split second short on that one. He still might be nursing a little bit of a injury from getting hammered earlier on that charge call. He's playing well, but I think his body's hurting a little bit.
Eisenman into Lear, then back to Eisenman as he crosses across the Eagle logo at midcourt. The ubiquitous Eagle logo, as that's the same logo the Philadelphia Eagles use, as well as several other teams. Now an elbow jumper drained by Ryland Barnes. 19-13, 6-0 run right now.
Well, you were right, Tyler. He was going to start scoring eventually. That time gets the open J.
So Barnes right now 3 points. Grant Jeanette goes over to Drew Mahler. 4:33 on the clock. Bishop Garrigan needing a bucket here. A slow start to the second quarter. Hoagland will try a near side triple, and he swishes it right through.
Oh, big shot by the athlete of the week, Grant Hoagland, getting the Bears right back in there.
The net almost perfectly inverted on that shot.
You can tell when Grant releases it right from his hand whether it's going in or not.
Now Walk answers with a left angle three-pointer. 22-16 West Hancock.
Oh, suddenly the points are flying by, but this Hancock defense is really being aggressive up top. They're all over Grant Hoagland right now on the perimeter.
Braden Walk had only attempted one three-pointer coming into tonight. So far tonight he's taken two. He's made one of them. 3:52. Bounce pass to the baseline, Hoagland, and he got bodied, and that'll be foul number 7 here against West Hancock.
You know, Hovey doing a great job getting that ball on the short corner or not letting it get slapped out of his hands and being patient, waiting for a cutters. That time Grant Hoagland was the cutter, cut baseline. Good positioning, good ball movement, and get a foul on the Eagles, and Grant's going to shoot free throws. And I'm not going to say anything about how good a free throw shooter he is because when I did last time, he missed it.
Oh, well, if you're not going to say it, I've got to deliver the facts.
Okay.
Grant Hoagland leading the team right now in free throw percentage at 60% from the line. We'll see if he adds to that or not. And he does.
All right.
He's stronger than any broadcasting curse.
Nicely done, Tyler.
22-17 right now is Hoagland, who currently at this point is averaging about 3 points a game, but that has shot up rapidly here over the last couple weeks. Off the back of the rim on the second one, and the rebound collected here by Gunnar Faust for West Hancock.
You know, you see West Hancock do this now. Ryland Barnes is going to just bring the ball up the floor.
Over to Faust, left of center. Hoagland shadows him. A flip over to the right to Ian Connor, playing for the first time tonight. He's on the wing, down into the lane, off the hands of Smith, out of bounds, but it was tipped by Golden Bear on the way out, so it'll stay here with West Hancock.
Yeah, Smith bobbled it, butterfingered it out of bounds, but Jack Grangenet got a finger on it before it left. Official was right there. Good call. You know, when you're a team like West Hancock and you have a player like Ryland Barnes and you just try to get him the ball all the time, sometimes that makes them easy to defend, but West Hancock has just enough other scorers going that it's making it tough.
Walk dishes far corner to Eisenman. They rotate it all the way around the perimeter back to Barnes on the near side after 4 passes. A handoff to Eisenman. Pulls the trigger on a deep three. It's a little long. Lear tips it, but it goes into the hands of Hoagland. That was Logan Lear on the tip for West Hancock. Hovey's in the far corner. Hard pump fake. Now into the post to Jacob Lear. Powers it over. Barnes in a travel. You could see they were trying to attack him with size and see if he'd pick up a third foul, but Lear shuffled the shoes.
That was a great strategy there. Get the ball to 6'6" Lear. Ryland Barnes guarding him. I thought when that whistle went, he was going to get that foul on Barnes, but Lear just had a little bit of happy feet, doing a little Texas two-step. Ref right there.
That may be the next big step for Jacob Lear as he continues to work on his game here throughout the season. That just still occasionally happens to him, like you said. Perfect description with the happy feet as Eisenman tries a far side triple, and we've got a wedgie. It's stuck in between the glass and the rim.
Is this the first wedgie we've seen this year? I think it is. At least when I've been on your side.
First wedgie I think I've seen this season, as it'll be a jump ball because of that, and that'll give the ball back to Bishop Garrigan.
All right, well, the players always laugh that one off. The challenge is who's going to be the first player that always has to jump up there and knock it out, because if you don't get high enough and knock that ball off, the whole crowd kind of roasts you there in front of everyone. But that time they knocked it out and it went through the hoop.
My only question is, who let Bill Belichick get the pregame supply of basketballs here tonight?
Yeah, there's a deflate gate going on here.
Hopefully there's not any Patriots fans listening as Hoagland tries a far side triple. Mahler falls from the lane, air ball, and a foul on the loose ball.
Tyler, you were accused of being a Patriot fan by a visitor to the radio station offices the other day. But
Really?
I assured them that was Mike Vandy's cup.
Oh, that's
he has
right.
a Patriots cup on his desk.
I forgot. For those who don't listen on the radio, Mike Vandy's our afternoon guy.
And good hands by Lear. He's the tight end on the football team. Hauls in the pass and puts it right up off the glass. Jacob makes the hard shots look easy, and sometimes the easy shots look hard.
And the scoreboard here at West Hancock gave those points to the Eagles. It says 24-19 right now, but that should be 3 points for Bishop Garrigan. They need to adjust that score ASAP as the timeout's
sure
called.
There's a lot of brains down there at the booth.
I'm paranoid about
they'll
scoreboards
fix it.
now.
Yeah, well, imagine the days when the scoreboards weren't so nice like they are now, just push buttons. We used to have to flip things over, Tyler. Well, this timeout, who called this timeout?
Within all that action, I missed it entirely. I'm
I
almost
missed it
certain
too.
Bishop Garrigan called that timeout there. They only have now 3 left listed on the scoreboard here.
Well, they've done a great job clawing their way back into it, making the score 22-21 a moment ago. They were down bigger. They forced a couple turnovers, and that was a great look inside to Lear. You know, just doing those little things like catching it when you can, catching the team off balance when you can. They got a break there where it looked like it was going to be a turnover, but the ball hopped right over the head of a West Hancock defender. You know, there's nothing wrong with having a little bit of luck in sports.
No doubt about it. Great game so far. 1 point margin, 22-21 is the lead here as West Hancock has the advantage. Eisenman goes around the screen from Barnes, now hands the ball off to Lear. Logan Lear gives the dribble hand up to Smith. Down to the baseline. It goes behind Walk, saved from going out of bounds, though, and shoveled it to Eisenman. Into the lane, hooks it up with the right hand and misses as Jacob Lear grabs the fingertip rebound.
Yeah, big rebound for Lear, avoiding those second chance baskets for West Hancock. One look and done.
Down into the near corner, Jacob Lear, 1:20 to go. Lob into Mahler, takes one dribble, tries to turn to the bucket, but got his pocket picked. Here comes Barnes, sprinting past everyone, and he'll flush it. 24-21. Barnes just out-sprinted everyone in transition that time and got the soft dunk.
I was sensing a missed dunk coming, but he was able to muscle it down through that cylinder.
So Barnes right now with 7 points in this, or check that, Barnes with 5 points. Now it's Hovey turning around, working against Barnes. Goes off the glass. A nice little up and under there to make it 24-23.
Oh, yeah, Hovey's got that good footwork inside, and he's got that left hand he's good with, and Barnes can't do anything about it with those fouls.
Walk goes right into Lear. Lear blocks it, and he forced a jump ball.
All ball on that. Jacob didn't have to leave his feet. The player just jumps up. He gets the big mid on that ball.
And he kept the hand on the ball as the player was on the way down.
No, West Hancock's going to get a shooter in. They're going to get Walk out. This is a three-point shooter entering the floor here at the end of the second half.
Hinders will come in. He hit a three-pointer earlier in this ball game. 24-23 West Hancock basketball here.
Aiden Hovey communicating the defense. Need to stop here.
They keep the ball away from Barnes. Goes to Hinders on the right wing, and he drains a three-pointer. He's the leading three-point shooter in the conference percentage-wise, over 40%, and he has his second of the night. Less than 30 seconds to go for Bishop Garrigan. 27-23 West Hancock. To the foul line, Berkey. Berkey tries to go down the lane. He stumbles, he loses the ball, and it rolled off an eagle foot there out of bounds.
Oh, a fortunate call there. Cal Berkey, Grant Hoagland hit the deck, and Cal Berkey came and saved the ball, but the offense was already broken, and Cal had to do something. It went through everybody's legs, but must have glazed a West Hancock player here. Now Bears have a chance. They got 18 seconds left to get a bucket here, cut this lead to
single possession as Hovey will bounce it, but it's intercepted by Connor with 15 seconds to go, and then Jacob Lear with the foul.
Oh, rats. Oh, I just talked about luck a moment ago. That was an unlucky break for the Bears there. Aiden Hovey tried to thread a pass, and West Hancock intercepts it, and Jacob Lear picks up a quick foul, but only his first foul.
That is going to be foul number 7 here against the Golden Bears, which will send Ian Connor to the foul line, where he's 2 of 2 so far this season. The 6'2" junior bends the knees, first to the 1-and-1, off the back of the rim, and Lear rebounds. 14 seconds to go. Now here's Grand Jeanette with pace. Grand Jeanette floats off the glass, and he scores it. 7 seconds now to go for West Hancock. They get it in quickly to Learer. Learer weaving into the front court. 3 seconds. Step back triple off the rim. It's tipped, and that one will miss as well. And that'll be halftime. 27-25, the West Hancock lead in a tightly contested back and forth. Hometown Radio, KLGA.
When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation, or find an ATM near your destination at moneypass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
With over a decade of experience, Jake Ingalls Electric is here to handle any electrical job you could possibly have. From anything agricultural related to complex commercial wiring to something simple like installing a new outlet in your home, Jake Ingalls Electric does it all. Have your wiring done right and call Jake at 515-320-4286. Jake Ingalls Premium Treatment.
Cenex Roadmaster XL comes with a more complete additive package for a more complete burn, while restoring your power by up to 4.5% and your fuel economy, but I guess it covers the basics. Cenex Premium Diesel. Diesel that doesn't mess around.
Contact New Way K&H Cooperative, your certified Cenex distributor, at 1-800-445-4118.
And we're back here on Hometown Radio, KLGA, and on the Algona Radio YouTube live stream as we're at halftime with West Hancock leading Bishop Garrigan 27-25. With me right now, I have Meredith Tagus, a senior on the girls basketball team. Meredith, first of all, very complete performance tonight over West Hancock. Just what are your overall thoughts on just having a blowout win like that?
It was so exciting. We definitely came out here and competed. Our defense was amazing. We put the ball in the hole, and we really sealed the deal on the win.
And Meredith, first time you saw West Hancock, it was a nail-biting one-point win, came down to the very end. Tonight here, you really were able to dominate, starting with the second quarter and beyond. So what did you feel a couple of the big differences between this game and that one were?
I know tonight we came out in man-to-man defense, and we were ready to shoot 2 main scores, and the rest of us picked up the slack and got the rebounds. And I know we just had more of a fighting spirit this time, and we didn't want to let them get within 1 point of us like last time.
And Meredith, obviously, regular season, not a whole lot of time left. You face North Iowa next week, Dyke, New Hartford as well. How big is a win like this for your confidence as you get closer to the postseason?
This is amazing. West Hancock is definitely a very strong team, and they are a good competition tonight. I know playing a team that is as strong as them does prepare us for teams that will be meeting on the road on the tournament, and I think such an exciting win like this definitely gives us the confidence to execute in the future.
And Meredith, you referenced the defensive end of the court as well. Of course, West Hancock has several very athletic guards that you were able to really limit their production tonight. So for you individually, what were a couple things you were focused on defensively in that performance?
We really kept our talking through screens. They set a lot of screens tonight, and always making sure that when the ball is shot that you find a body and box them out and get that board, make them go one and done. And everyone committed tonight, helped out when we did get screened and didn't get through, and it was a complete performance.
Now, Meredith, I'll wrap up here with this. Obviously, as we get close to the final postseason run for you and a couple of the other seniors as well, just what's your, I guess, level of both excitement and kind of sentimentality as we go into this final postseason run for you?
This is very exciting because us 3 seniors have always been present on the bench, and I know it's really exciting this year to actually have our chance to play. And with the past 2 years almost seeming like we came short at the end, we're ready to push through for both ourselves and all of our underclassmen to get the win in the end.
Absolutely. Well, Meredith, congrats on the win. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you so much.
That's Meredith Tagus, a senior on Bishop Garrigan's basketball team here, talking about their big win over West Hancock. As we'll go ahead and get the headset transitioned over here to Coach Schwab, who's joining me right now. Coach, first of all, dominant performance in that game. Just let's start off with your overview of your team's effort in that one.
Well, it's tremendous defensively. You know, their leading scorer had 5 points. You know, we shut them down at 22 points. And it wasn't because they didn't shoot it well. It's because we didn't allow them to get a shot off. You know, I mean, we locked them down all night long. There was no room for them to even get a shot off. Molly on Kennedy, holding Kennedy to 4 or 5 points. Abby on Mallory holding her to 4 points, and we put those two on them with no help and said, you guys are on them, and I had full confidence in both of them kids to shut their two best players down, and they did.
Coach, it seemed like the team tonight was playing just very, very loose. You saw players smiling, laughing on the court, having a lot of fun, and that was even early in the game when it was still close as well. So why do you feel the team came out so relaxed in tonight's game?
We were pretty motivated to, we wanted to finish this. We talked after clinching the conference championship on Tuesday of not being settled for the conference title. We want to go undefeated in the conference. We want to keep our win streak in the conference alive, and we had really thought at our place we just didn't play well at all offensively or defensively, and we wanted to show a ranked 2A team what we're capable of when we play together and we play tough.
Now, Coach, one of the things you talked a lot about in the pregame was running West Hancock off the three-point line, making them beat you with twos. I don't know the exact number of threes they hit, but it was not very many. So
right.
Just what were a couple things your team did well defending the three ball tonight?
We went over top of screens. We worked the last 2 days in practice of, defending the ball screen, defending the down screen, and really on how we wanted to go about that. And if we were forced to switch. But we did a great job of going underneath or over top and beating them to the spot on that, and that was all night. And, another thing that hasn't been mentioned yet is I can't imagine how much we out-rebounded them tonight. But, Meredith Tigas was huge on the boards. She, all night long, gave us second, third opportunities, making them go one and done. Was big all night for us. And Emma Granginette hit big shots for us. She was unguarded, and we told her before the game that, when you're unguarded, you've got to make plays for us. Feel confident in shooting that shot. You don't have to force it. You're going to get it any time you want. Just catch in rhythm, and when you're feeling it, shoot it. Because, when we rebound the ball like that, we got a dang good chance, even if it's a miss, to get an offensive rebound and a putback. But our rebounding was outstanding. Our defense was fun to watch tonight.
And Coach, I do want to follow up on that because, like you said, great shooting at Granginette with several very important three-pointers. Did it take any convincing to get her to be confident to take those shots when normally she's feeding the ball inside to Crooks?
No, not at all. Emma needs to know. She knows that we have confidence in her. She can shoot if she gets in rhythm in those open shots. I'm confident she makes the right decision. She doesn't have to force them. A couple times you saw her dribble the ball to the middle of the floor, look the dump down, have a couple floaters in the middle. Bottom line, when you're not guarded, you've got to just make a play. I don't care whether it's shooting, setting somebody up for an assist, but you can't just stand it and allow that to happen. Put pressure on the defense, and Emma did a great job of that tonight.
Well, Coach, great win tonight. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, thanks.
That's Bishop Garrigan head coach Brandon Schwab here on our Algona Radio YouTube stream and on KLGA. We'll take a timeout and come back with the second half of the boys game next on Hometown Radio.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Call PMC Advantage with offices in Algona, Burt, Corwith, Garner, Sway City, and West Bend.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. A referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Iowa did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie.
Becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
getting ready for the second half between Bishop Garrigan and West Hancock right here on Hometown Radio KLGA and the Algona Radio YouTube live stream. The crowd's cheering, the band's playing in the background, and it's a 27-25 West Hancock lead at the moment. Beanie, interesting first half that we saw.
This is going to be an exciting second half. Drew Fogarty, Garrigan's leading scorer and biggest threat inside and outside, didn't get to play much that second quarter, so Garrigan's got a lot of offensive firepower yet to burn. And I don't think we've seen the best of the Bears' energy yet. This is not the same energy we saw at Forest City the other day, nor going back into last week. And it's that level, rise up to that level of energy that we've seen them play, and they're going to get right on top of this lead. Of course, I'm the eternal optimist, but I think they're going to take the lead right back here. They got the first possession to start the second half.
So it'll be Hovey, Grand Jeanette, Fogarty, Hoagland, and Jacob Lear, who right now has the ball in the near corner. Lob into Hovey in the post, and that one got swatted away from behind by Logan Lear and out of bounds.
Lear forced that pass, but I like what they're trying to do there. Aiden Hovey is they're trying to pick up that quick foul on Ryland Barnes, and Lear went for it. He took that three-pointer the other day. He's not afraid to.
Grand Jeanette from the baseline, bounces it into Lear, in between two defenders, threads the needle and scores it off the glass.
Absolutely, and Ryland Barnes had to let him hit that basket. Doesn't want to pick up a foul.
27-27 tie. Walk glimpses at the basket, stops at the foul line, dishes baseline Barnes. Barnes underneath, tries to go underneath. He somehow created room for himself, just leaning back into the paint and scooping it off the glass.
Well, I'm a homer for the Bears, obviously, but I tip my hat to that player there. That was an incredible shot there by Barnes.
Jacob Lear is dared to shoot, and he drains it from the corner. The big man of his second three of the season. It's 30-29.
And the student section loves it, seeing Lear hit that three-pointer. That's two so far in the season, maybe more. Two big ones.
30-29 right now. Jacob Lear shooting at a high percentage from three. Over to the left to Walk. 1 minute into this quarter. Walk a foul line jumper. Bounces off to the left. Rebound Hovey. The Golden Bear student section who came tonight, they're doing a great job this season supporting the team, and they love it here on the road.
Yeah, quite a crowd tonight for the Bears making the cold trip.
Lob into the lane, but that's intercepted by Walk. Gets it up to Barnes, handling the basketball and angling towards the near side. Steps back for a triple, air ball. It's tipped to Fogarty, and he has another board. Up to Grand Jeanette as the junior will walk it into the front court. Flips it over to the left to Lear. Barnes guarding him a little bit closer this time, but still giving him plenty of space. Bounce to the right to Hoagland, guarded by Peterson. Now further right to Grand Jeanette. They give it to the cutting Hovey. Hovey hesitates, puts it up to the left hand, no, and Barnes sails in for the rebound. Barnes for West Hancock up the court, across the foul line, dribbling with the right hand, turns into the lane, dishes it to a nice cut by Walk, and he'll be fouled at the last minute.
Wow, Jacob Lear just threw an arm up there as a desperate attempt to get something in the face, and I think he must have snagged a lot of arm, but I thought it was almost a good block, but nope, send Walk to the free throw line. Pretty good start to the second half here by both teams, both playing pretty sharp basketball.
And that foul shot is up, and it is good. That'll tie it at 30. It was hard to tell from our vantage point. Obviously, we don't have the benefit of replay,
Right.
but Walk, you kind of saw his upper torso just get leaned back a little bit on that one, which would indicate a bit of contact to the body that time. Up high, so missing the second foul shot.
And West Hancock does not try to get the rebound there. They want to get back and set up their pressure defense.
Ball will be kicked out of bounds. That'll go up a foot for West Hancock, and Bishop Garrigan will keep it.
You know, so go back to the first half. Jack Grand Jeanette had a great breakaway to make it 27-25 at half. We talked off the air, Tyler. I think Jack Grand Jeanette can get to that hoop a little more this half.
Yeah, he defers an awful lot on the offense, and rightfully so. I mean, he's great at distributing the basketballs. Right now, he'll take a right-angle three-pointer, bounces high off the rim, and Lear sails in for the rebound, but that one hit the extension above the backboard for a turnover.
Just grazed a cable up there. You know, it can hit the top of the backboard. It just can't hit anything that is holding the backboard up, or and then carry on behind it.
Yeah, all the wires and contraptions that are holding up the backboard, those are all out of play. 5:43 on the clock. But yeah, just to finish up that point of Grand Jeanette, you're right. He can get to the bucket, but he just so often defers inside with all the size Bishop Garrigan has.
Lear just picked up his third foul. I tell you, David Smith is a physical football player. He is going to be one heck of a linebacker or whatever he plays for the West Hancock Eagles. But he just threw his body into Lear and drew a blocking foul on Lear. He likes to create the contact.
A bounce into the lane. Barnes spins away from Lear, but left it short right at the rim from point blank. Over to Grand Jeanette for Bishop Garrigan. Inside Hovey, calling for the ball, puts it off the window, and he scores it.
Great transition play by Garrigan. Take advantage.
Now a handoff comes, or doesn't come, as Eisenman faked it. They'll go around the perimeter to walk. They dare him to shoot. He won't take it. They'll pass it near side Hinders. To the left, Eisenman hands it off Mitchell Smith. Smith looks, dishes to Barnes in the near corner with 5:06 on the clock. Barnes out on the wing. He'll back up a few steps here. Now he'll look towards the bucket. Barnes into the lane. Kick out corner to walk. Walk to the baseline. Weaves, dishes, and he'll throw it away out of bounds.
Good defensive stand by Bishop Garrigan, just holding their ground. Didn't give up the drive to Barnes nor walk. And they're going to want a timeout to talk about how this half started.
Coach Hiscox takes a timeout. It's a 60-second timeout, and we'll take it with him. Back in 60 on Hometown Radio, KLGA.
More Sports Club members making these broadcasts possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Catholic Charities, offering professional counseling services to families and individuals of all faiths. Learn more at cathchar.com.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush always beats a full house.
Grassmasters, get tips and advice from their lawn care professionals. Grassmasters, growing satisfied customers.
American Glass, for all your glass needs, think American.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, serving Algona, Sway City, and the surrounding areas for chiropractic, massage, nutritional care, and physical therapy services.
Dr. Bill Stroman, giving you something to smile about.
Jake Ingalls Electric, for shockingly good service, call 320-4286.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
All bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Back quickly here after the timeout. Bishop Garrigan has Hovey just outside the lane. Now over to Fogarty, left of center. Hovey in the high post, fakes the bounce pass, turns and faces the turnover for Bishop Garrigan. 32-30 Golden Bear lead. Hovey.
Garrigan's defense is really flustering them offensively. And likewise on the other side, their defensive pressure that they turn to is not producing the turnovers that they're hoping.
Golden Bears are much more composed, trying to beat the traps in the inside. Smith crashed in there, and second time tonight, Grand Jeanette has drawn the charge.
Well, that was Hovey hit the deck on that one.
Oh, that's a good call. That was Hovey in that area.
Well, one's 2 and one's 5. Numbers are really similar, but I knew Hovey was going to draw a charge at some point today. He's always in there looking for that opportunity.
And now a blocking foul whistled against West Hancock here, as they'll get Gunnar Faust on that one. So that'll be first foul on him. Second here on West Hancock in the half. Into play, the Grand Jeanette splits the double team, dishes to Hoagland. Hoagland into the corner to Mahler. Now back onto the wing, Hovey. Eyes the bucket, goes towards the foul line. Now flips it over to Hoagland. Tried to fire it down low to Mahler, but that's intercepted by Barnes. Barnes runs for West Hancock, stops at the foul line, dishes it to the baseline cut, and there's a wide open Logan Lear for the layup.
Oh, it's like a brand new game all over again. Tied at 32. Both teams are starting to amp up the intensity.
Fantastic assist on that one, as now an elbow jumper rattles out for Fogarty, and Mitchell Smith grabs the rebound.
Oh, that looked good for Fogarty. Another one that rattled and hummed around and out.
Eisenman rotates it left to Faust. Now comes back to the near side, curling round. It's Barnes. He'll take a mid-range jumper from the elbow, and he got 2 hops, and it dropped in.
Yeah, definitely a home court drop there. I thought it was well short. It somehow crawled up and over the top of the rim, defying physics for that. Points for Barnes.
Barnes has 9 right now. It's 34-32 West Hancock. Up to the top, Fogarty. Now over to the right, Hoagland. Far corner to Mahler, now reverses it back to Hoagland, and Hoagland got bumped by Learer. That'll be his second foul.
Yeah, he's picked up 2 quick ones here. You know, he went into the game, I think, determined to create some havoc defensively, but the officials right there tagging him with those fouls.
So 3 fouls right now for West Hancock, 2 for Bishop Garrigan in this second half. Hoagland from the far side of the court will inbound it to Grand Jeanette. Grand Jeanette sees the double team again, holds the ball. He better avoid the jump ball that time, and Coach Meister will take a timeout. Bishop Garrigan was a little casual on that possession, getting it in, as Grand Jeanette was just waiting for someone to come get it.
Just in the nick of time. I think Grand Jeanette thought he was going to get tagged for a double dribble. I think he kind of put 2 hands on the ball as he was putting it to the floor, and he was waiting for the whistle call, and then it never came. And then by that time, 2 West Hancock players had trapped him, and then he had to pick up the pace. And good job by the Garrigan coaching staff there to get a timeout before something bad happened. But now they got 2 timeouts left in the rest of this game, and still a lot of game left. Boy, this is shaping up just like the first time these teams met. It was overtime. No, it was overtime.
It was overtime. 47-42 final in that one.
Well, we could be heading for another Friday night overtime game, Tyler Lance.
It may be. I mean, West Hancock, they've played in a lot of close games this season. They have a record of 8-12. It pretty easily could be 12-8 because they played in several games pretty similar to this one.
Well, I've only seen them these 2 times, but they seem to be that type of team that just plays to the level of their opponent and have a big range of capabilities.
That is a very accurate assessment, I would say, from, again, also my limited experience watching them, but looking at their schedule as well. And a traveling violation is going to be called. Far side of the court, Faust intercepted that pass, tried to tiptoe the sideline, but tiptoed one too many times.
Hey, there's a break for the Bears. That was going to be a run-out layup, probably another dunk. That would have got the crowd going. So we avoid the dunk by Barnes and get the ball right back.
Mahler gets it into Hoagland right at the edge of the Eagle logo. Hoagland fades towards the left, bounces it to Fogarty. Now turns around, lobs it inside Hobie, back to the bucket, turns, faces, goes off the glass, no. Mahler tips it, Mahler picks it up, offensive rebound.
Drew Mahler battling for the rebound, what a play.
But then he sailed it outside and walk intercepted, and then he got bumped by Grant Jeanette for the Bishop Garrigan foul.
Well, the team might not have come out on top there, but Drew Muller's got to feel much confidence building there. He went up for the rebound against, as you said, the 3rd leading scorer in the conference in Ryland Barnes. Bigger body, older, I think he's a junior. Yeah, junior against freshman, and Drew Muller held his own. That builds the confidence.
So it'll be back to West Hancock here coming out of the turnover. Mitchell Smith on the right wing, angles across the foul line, dishes far side of the court to Barnes, soft pump fake and comes to the right to Lear. Hands it off to Smith, curling around to the bucket, soft touch and he puts it in.
Well, Smith has had 2 charges called on him today, and that time he was being real careful not to get any more charges.
A bounce pass to Mahler on the baseline, hit off of Smith's kneecap, went over to Hoagland, now out to the right to Mahler. Mahler goes on to the elbow to Hovey, turns around 180 again and got his pocket picked. Lear has it, he runs, bounce pass to Hinders, goes off the glass and puts it in. Nice transition that time, and all of a sudden it's 38-32 West Hancock. They are on an 8-0 run right now.
When I saw Hinders come in the game, I thought he was the 3-point shooter, but he showed some good speed there, getting up the floor and getting that layup down.
Now Mahler has it, bounce pass to the right. Grand Jeanette now back to the left to Mahler. Mahler takes one dribble, flips it left to Fogarty with 1:26 on the clock. Near corner Hoagland, now in the low post to Hovey, sandwiched in between 2 defenders, unloads it to Hoagland for a 3-pointer, swirls out of the drain. Mahler tries to tip it in, Barnes hits it off his fingertips, and then he rejects Mahler. A huge block right into the hands of Hoagland. Dish down low to Mahler, and he'll get the layup after all that.
Oh, what a crazy back and forth, an unbelievable volley of the basketball.
And now an over and back violation against West Hancock. As it appeared, Eisenman hit it off the ankle of Logan Lear on the dribble. It rolled back across half court, and that's a turnover.
Oh, what a crazy turn of events. What a possession a moment ago by Garrigan. Barnes does that monster block, and it looks like West Hancock's going to get a run out. Somehow Garrigan gets it back, flips it to Drew Muller underneath, who deserved it because he had just battled for a rebound a second ago.
The crowd on the far side of the court exploded on the block. That was the same with the Bishop Garrigan crowd underneath us as Lear's pass is tipped and intercepted. Quick outlet up to Walk. Walk attacks. Rejected by Grand Jeanette, but then the follow-on a score by Mitchell Smith. Oh, and those two are jawing back and forth. Walk and Grand Jeanette.
2 awesome blocks in a row. One by Grand Jeanette, one by...
Inside Lear. Blocked, and that'll be a foul.
Ryland Barnes, and I thought that was going to be a 3rd block right there as Lear goes up, gets himself to the free throw line. This is exciting basketball.
Things are getting a little chippy here down the stretch, too, just as they did in the first game. You'd expect nothing less between West Hancock and Bishop Garrigan.
Oh, wouldn't have it any other way. This is the fun competitiveness between these 2 teams.
Lear at the foul line will have that one bounce around, and he'll get the friendly drop. 10 points now for Jacob Lear, 40-35 the score.
One thing I'll say for Jacob Lear, he, no matter how intense it was the other night at Forest City when he drained that 3-pointer, and right now it's intense, he's at the free throw line, he just goes about his business. Calm and casual, sinks another free throw.
Yeah, sinks it right there, 40-36. very flatlined. You can't really tell what his emotions are as he is very calm. Berkey intercepts the pass, tries to tiptoe the sideline, and he stepped out of bounds.
Tell you what, if Berkey stays in bounds there and goes for a layup, that's a 6-0 run for Bishop Garrigan. What a huge turnaround. As it is, it's a 4-0 run for Bishop Garrigan in this tight game. That's big.
23 seconds to go in the quarter, 40-36 West Hancock. Eisenman flips it near side. Learer jump stopping, bouncing it to Walk. Rejected by Fogarty, and a late foul is going to be called.
Oh, a late foul indeed.
That'll be number 4 on Fogarty. Fogarty had the ball and was going the other way by the time they called that one.
He was, and it came from the official furthest from. But he may have given the Bears a call a moment ago when he tagged West Hancock for a travel and what was going to be a run-out dunk. So I guess it's even.
The ball don't lie, as they say. Smith will drain that foul shot. Or check that, Walk will drain the foul shot, making it 41-36.
West Hancock substituting here. They're going to get some defenders in the game that have fouls to give.
Connor and Faust come in, and like you said, players with fouls, Lear and Eisenman check out.
But they left Barnes in.
That foul shot knuckles through, and that'll make it 42-36.
I'm telling you, Jack Grangenet needs to drive right at Ryland Barnes.
Grangenet sees traffic, bounces it, Barnes kicks it, and it's out of bounds for 9 seconds.
Just because Jack is so good at contorting his body and getting to the hoop, and Ryland Barnes can't help but try to swat that thing away. And in these 9 seconds, if you pick up another foul on their leading scorer, could be big. As it is now, they've substituted all their size out. Garrigan should get an easy look at the basket if they can get the ball in the Lear. He's got a huge mismatch.
4-inch size advantage as Lear catches on the baseline, goes up with the soft touch, bounces it in, went right over the top of Connor that time. 4 seconds, up the court Faust, Walk with 1 second, Walk gets off the jumper, and it comes up short at the horn. 4-point ball game as we go to the fourth. It's West Hancock 42, Bishop Garrigan 38 on Hometown Radio, KLGA.
When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at MoneyPass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC. For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
West Hancock 42, Bishop Garrigan 38 as we've reached the fourth quarter. And Hoagland on the court right now for West Hancock. It's Eisenman as well as Barnes, Walk. And we'll get the next names here. Lear in as well as he collects the basketball. He'll pump. He'll flip it over to the left. Eisenman. He'll fire a 3, and that one's off the mark, but it's rebounded by Smith, who's the 5th player in the ball game. And they'll get it back up top and reset the offense. Lear goes left to Eisenman. 4-point advantage for West Hancock. Now Walk just right of center. Goes across the foul line. Got knocked away by Grangenet right into the hands of Hovey. The two players just kind of collided that time. That was almost an accidental turnover.
Yeah, great defensive stand by the Bears. And best part, so quick to the basketball after it got knocked loose.
Fogarty far corner to Hoagland. Slicing towards the lane. Now bounce into the corner. Lear. He'll try another 3-pointer, but he line drive that one. Chased his own miss. Followed, and he floats it off the glass for the score.
Oh, they failed to box out the big man after he takes a 3-point. Just Johnny on the spot, right to the hoop like a layup drill.
2-point advantage now for West Hancock, 42-40, after Lear scored his 15th point of the night. Now it's Smith with his 9 points, comes to the right to Walk, holds the ball behind his head, now goes back to the left to Lear. About 3 or 4 feet beyond the 3-point line to the right to Barnes. Hovey defends. Barnes holds it over his head looking for the pass, and it's intercepted by Grangenet. He rolls it on the court, picks it back up, and behind. Grangenet had it roll away from him, and that messed up the timing of the play as a spin and a travel against Barnes.
Lucky. It was very fortunate that the official changed that call to a travel. I think I saw his face about to say charge, which would have been a foul on Barnes, but he gave them a travel call. That was a great position, but that was Grant Hoagland putting his body on the line, willing to take that charge.
In any case, Bishop Garrigan gets it back. Both teams have 4 fouls in this half. Fogarty to the top of the key, Hovey. He'll try a triple. It swirls out, no good, and it's rebounded by Smith. Up the court, quick outlet to Lear. Bullets it inside to a spinning Barnes. Contorts himself, but he misses right at the rack. Now Grand Jeanette will try some pace here. Weaves towards the near side. Underhand scoop to Fogarty. It came in low at Fogarty's knees and out of bounds.
Oh, you can just feel the intensity picking up here in this fourth quarter. These teams are playing like there's only 2 minutes left. The other night at Forest City, we saw Forest City being calm and casual, and it snuck up on them. West Hancock, they're playing intense right now, but the Bears are answering that call. Every player out there is focused.
Under 6 minutes to go in this ball game. Towards the right, Smith. Now flips it back over to left, Hinders. 3-point try, and he swishes it again. Evan Hinders is just killing Bishop Garrigan at these threes.
Oh, boy, has he missed one yet? Every time he gets one, he puts it in.
I don't think he has. Fogarty, nice move in the paint, and he'll answer with 2.
There it is. They have no answer. Fogarty is tough inside. He can power it up through, and Barnes can't foul him, so keep feeding 24 inside.
Fogarty now with 9 points. Hinders, who you mentioned, has 11 coming off the bench. Came into this game averaging just about 4 points per game, but with how well he's shooting, I'm actually kind of surprised it's just 4.
Yeah, boy, he comes off the bench. It's like he's super hot just off the bench. Doesn't have to warm up.
30 on the clock, far corner to Hinders. He'll try a 3. He actually missed that one, but they waved it off here for push and a foul against Bishop Garrigan, defending on Barnes.
They set a screen to get Hinders open for that. And Jacob just pushed right through the screen like he's playing defensive end against West Hancock and sent the player to the floor. You know, if you get screened, that's part of basketball. You got to honor that screen. You can't just run people over. Good job by the officials.
Eisenman looking, lobbing into Lear, who turns his back to Hoagland to catch it. Now 5:25 to go. Barnes right underneath us, heads to the left around the perimeter, bounce pass to the cutting Eisenman, dives to the bucket. He left it laying on the rim, and it drops off into Hovey's hands.
Spin around, nice, just forcing an awkward shot.
Skip to Mahler, spin on the baseline, jumper. That was tough as it was off the mark. But
Good Grand Jeanette fighting for that rebound in there. Littlest guy out there gets the board.
Fogarty, left angle triple, and he airballed that one off to the right and short as it goes out of bounds.
But there may have been a little bit of contact on that shot. I think someone must have got a finger on that. That was a uncharacteristic miss by Andrew Fogarty.
Well, they're giving it to West Hancock here, so the referees are saying no tip. But you're right,
Wow.
that it is not often you see one off target like that from Fogarty.
No, he's been really hot recently, and I think he's got a lot of points left to contribute in this last 4.5 minutes.
Still a 3-point margin as Walk comes to the left around the perimeter, now to the elbow, turns around, avoids the travel. Lear probing towards the lane, back to the bucket, works outside to Barnes. Pump fakes on the 3, dribbles towards the baseline. Fogarty stays in front, now back to the outside Eisenman. Eisenman across the foul line. Eisenman right of the lane, turns it around and bounces out to Lear. Lear down the center of the lane, now foul line Barnes. Jumper bounces off to the right, and Lear shovels it back into play for West Hancock. He saves it into Walk. Walk puts it off the back of the rim, can't get the friendly bounce, and now a foul on the rebound against West Hancock.
Oh, Walk gets called for the foul. He missed that shot. You see that so often in high school. A player will miss a shot, and they want that ball back so badly, they commit a foul immediately. That's what happened there. Great job by Andrew Fogarty getting in there, battling for the rebound. And now the Bears are in a good position, down 3 points. Get right back, tie this game up with a 3, or get within 1.
The offenses have not shot the ball great so far here in the second half as Fogarty's down in the far corner, side to the bucket, gives it to a cutting Hovey. Hovey trying to find space, and he banks it in. Somehow found the glass that time despite coming in along the baseline, and it's a 1-point game. West Hancock still up. Walk, drives right into the lane, shoots a floater over Fogarty, tapped by Barnes, and he puts it in.
Oh, I thought that was going to be another good stand for Garrigan, but system of Barnes elevating and tapping, never even coming down to the ground.
Fogarty goes over to the right, Hovey. Pump fakes on the pass, works back outside Fogarty. Curls into the lane, taking long steps, lost it off his thigh and out of bounds.
Oh, I thought Barnes got a hand on that ball, but I think he just made Fogarty think in midair, lost it out of bounds. boy, go back to this Bishop Garrigan defense doing a great job. Aiden Hovey working real hard on defense. Him and Fogarty have really done a nice job keeping the ball out of Barnes' hands as much as possible. Doing a nice job limiting his point production. Holding him to 11 is pretty darn good.
47-44, 3:20 left in this one. Time becoming a valuable resource. A pass to the left to Eisenman. Looks, gets it to Smith. Smith will bounce it to a cutting Barnes, and with a soft touch, puts it in off the tip of his fingers to make it 49-44.
You know, Jack Grangenet almost stole that pass. He's going to get one of those before the game's over.
Big possession now coming for Garrigan. Grangenet penetrates to the bucket, and he answers right back. 49-46, that was a huge possession there. Now 2:50 to go. Can West Hancock get it back up to a 2-score game? Barnes up top, guarded by Hovey. Dribbles between the legs. Flips it over to the right to Hinders. They won't let him get the three off this time. Smith, top of the key, Barnes. Free ball on the way. Rattles out of the drain, no good. Hinders touched it, but he hit it off of Mahler, I believe. And it will stay with West Hancock.
The far side officials has a foul called. So one official says out of bounds, and the other official's calling a foul on Andrew Muller. Drew Muller is going to get called for a push there, fighting for the rebound.
The foul will triumph here. That'll be number 6 on Bishop Garrigan as a 30-second timeout's taken by Coach Hiscox. Now 2:36 left in this one. Well, Beanie, I'll tell you what, Bishop Garrigan, they've been here before, and they were here on Tuesday.
Yeah, they're finishing games as of late, so a lot of confidence in the Bears to finish this game out and get the W. But look, they has gotten to the basket against this West Hancock team at will. Like, just cut them right, cut up the defense, gotten right to the hoop. I think Jack can do that anytime he wants, and that's what gives me a lot of confidence going into the end of this game. If Garrigan finds himself in an end-of-game situation, they need a bucket, I think Grangenet's got a steal for a layup left in him, and I think he can drive to the basket like he did a moment ago. 2 huge drives by him today to create 2 points, almost all on his own for the Bishop Garrigan Bears.
Grangenet has tremendous balance, weaving in between defenders on that last one. Something to develop, bouncing it to Walk. Walk turns around, blocked by Hovey, but Hovey got arm as well, and that'll be a foul.
And you will take that one every time. Walk was going to get an easy 2. Hovey, you know, he trying to block the shot, but at least he made sure that they weren't going to give him the easy one. Oh, they accidentally called that foul on Andrew Fogarty, and someone's going to correct that. He wasn't even close. That was definitely on Aiden Hovey. Fogarty.
Yeah, the second referee is going to come in and overrule the first one because, yeah, you're right. Fogarty was nowhere near that play. That would have been his 5th, but they are going to correct it and give it to Aiden Hovey, and instead that'll be Hovey's first.
What I think happened is they came over and said number 5 fouled, which is Aiden Hovey, but the bench officials were so tuned into Fogarty about to get his 5th foul, they're like, okay, he got his 5th, and they were tracking that. It's only the first foul on Aiden Hovey.
7th foul on Bishop Garrigan as Walk is good on the first free throw. 2-possession game, 50-46.
Now think about that. How hard has Aiden Hovey been playing defense to only have 1 foul? Boy, he's doing some magic.
I know he's a ball of energy out there for the Golden Bears. And the second foul shot is drained as well, making it 51-46.
I mean, usually if you're playing good defense, you're going to get at least a couple fouls.
Grangenet trapped and intercepted by Smith as he tried to pass out of it. Now Barnes flips it to Hinders, tries a back-breaking 3-pointer, but he can't bank it in. Barnes gets the rebound, though. Backs it up, rotates to Eisenman. He'll try a 3 off the front of the rim. Rebound Walk. He follows, and he's fouled. 3 chances for West Hancock, and now Walk's going to shoot 2 again.
And that is going to be on Andrew Fogarty. Good battle for the rebound by Fogarty. Because, you know, you can't give up 3 offensive rebounds in a row. Andrew Fogarty knows that. He was going to battle, not going to give them a 4th chance. And gets called for contact on that rebound. Sending Walk to the line, unfortunately.
So Walk right now does have 12 points, and he has 13 after that foul shot.
And he has been draining these free throws, so there's time left in the game. But as time ticks down and Garrigan might have to start fouling, you don't want to foul these guys that are at the free throw line shooting hot like Walk is right now.
Walk now 14 points. This has been a good free throw shooting game, and it's a 3-possession game, 53-46. Pass it, left it short. Smith drives, gets to the bucket. He got fouled, and he put it in. Mitchell Smith with a back-breaking bucket there makes it 55-46.
Oh, Grangenet's been so good at getting back to the basket and setting up to draw a charge. But that time, Smith just too fast to the basket. Grangenet couldn't get back and get set in time and picks up the blocking foul.
That aggressive defense for West Hancock just got the best of Bishop Garrigan here over the last couple of possessions on the turnovers. Now Mahler on the baseline with time, a precious resource, and he'll throw an errant pass. Lobbed up the court to Walk, and he'll get the easy layup. 57-46, and West Hancock is pouring it on here in the fourth quarter. 1:43 to go, Hoagland. Hoagland looks towards the right, now comes back to the left. Timeout, Coach Meister. But it may be a little too late. We'll keep it right here for 1:39 left as West Hancock has hit Bishop Garrigan with an avalanche. That's just aggressive pressuring defense. They forced 3 turnovers in a row. They've gotten out in transition. Golden Bears haven't been able to get back on time in defense, and just all out of sorts.
Oh, after such a close, contested game all the way, both teams answering each other's punch with another jab. And then West Hancock, boy, in this last 20 seconds just came up with a major roundhouse to the head of Bishop Garrigan. That defensive pressure up front, Garrigan has dealt so well with it the whole game. 3 quarters plus they've managed that defensive pressure from West Hancock. And just in 20 seconds, a couple throwaways, turnovers, whatever you want to call it, but that pressure from West Hancock created some instant points, and just like that, it ballooned out. And, boy, that's backbreaking when you've played so well and worked so hard to keep a game close, that just in a 20-second spurt, points just come in that big of a flurry. Good timeout call by Coach Meister there, because there's still plenty of time left. The Bears can score in a hurry. And Jack Grangenet was flustered by that blocking call a second ago where he couldn't draw the charge. But they need him right now to get that ball to the hoop.
57-46. Braden Walk has been the superstar tonight with 16 points for West Hancock. A bullet inside to Hovey. He got stripped. It's out of bounds, and it will stay with Bishop Garrigan.
All right, they can run a little play here. Garrigan has a nice little play. They run for a corner 3. They can get that play, knock it down, get right back in this.
57-46. West Hancock scoring 8 points in a row here. A bounce into Hovey, turns around, gets to the bucket and lays it in.
Boy, does he have a nose for how to get to the glass, like you said before, Tyler. Great touch inside by Hovey.
8 points for Hovey. 2 away from his 4th straight double-digit scoring game as running the court Barnes, dishing it off, and a nice layup for Smith off the assist from Barnes. 13 points Mitchell Smith. 59-48, 1 minute left to go. Grangenet comes to the left to Mahler. Mahler looks, he lobs to Hovey at the foul line. Hovey in traffic, and he got fouled as he landed. They will get Walk on that one, which will be his 3rd. That is number 6 against West Hancock. After picking up some early fouls this half, West Hancock has done a nice job avoiding the bonus up to this point.
Yeah, and by being really aggressive, too, they've managed to avoid fouls.
Hoagland, far side. Bishop Garrigan's going to foul him, and now the free-throw game begins.
Boy, the energy that West Hancock has had in this last 2 minutes has been impressive. They really just picked up their intensity. And Hoagland, wise foul otherwise. That was going to be another run-out dunk potentially by Barnes.
Barnes tonight, 13 points, trying to add to that, and he will, making it 14. Gets the first of the 1-and-1 as Ty Peterson gets set to check in. Peterson will signal Smith out of the game.
Yeah, this is senior night here at West Hancock. Peterson, I noticed before, was a senior introduced before the game.
Bishop Garrigan with the basketball. Down in the near corner, Lear tries a 3, and it's blocked by Barnes. He soared in to catch up and close out. And
well, end of game situation here for Garrigan to work on. 61-48 might be too much of a lead, but they sure as heck can try, and that will give them experience. And they get another end of game situation of how to foul efficiently, send people to the line, and make this a learning experience. Try to create as many points as they try to slow this last 40 seconds down as much as possible.
10 fouls on Bishop Garrigan. Lear shooting a second one here after missing the first, and he will rattle that in. Lear with 5 points so far tonight. 36 seconds left for Bishop Garrigan as Grangenet trots into the front court. Angles left, bounce pass to Hovey on the right elbow. Hovey heads down the lane, dumps it off inside to Lear, contorts his body but misses right at the rack. Follows, blocked again, but this time it's going to be a foul with 23 seconds left.
There we go. Lear's going to go to the line. I believe Jacob Lear for Garrigan. I'm sure he's related. I know he's related to many Lears on the West Hancock school system, but there's a couple Lears on the floor right now that I'm sure are related to Jacob Lear for Garrigan. So we have a lot of Lears on the floor tonight and there's some smiles going back and forth. I assume those two are cousins, and one Lear is talking to the other Lear at the free throw line.
Yeah, they're laughing right now as it's 62-48 after the missed foul shot. Hard to keep all the Learers straight, but all have had some great success in various sports as the foul shot is rattled in. Jacob Lear, 16 points, and it's a 62-49 edge right now for West Hancock. And Bishop Garrigan, but 23 seconds seems pretty much every game recently besides the ones against Lake Mills and Garner Hayfield Ventura have come down to the very end.
Yeah, they've had their fair share of blowouts, but the ones they've had a lot of close games that have been, I'm sure, fun to play out. And like even these last 23 seconds, they can be fun to play this out. You know, they've got 49 points. Well, let's make a goal. You know, let's get that thing up. Let's get that up to 55, 56 points here in this last 23 seconds. Stretch that game out. Make that clock last as long as possible.
So Bishop Garrigan will come out of the timeout with Grand Jeanette, Hoagland, Hovey, Lear, and Mahler still on the floor.
And you bet, like, Coach Meister's got three-point shooter in, or Hoagland. He's got Jack Grangenet, can slash to the basket.
Logan Lear angles to the left and flips it over to Eisenman to 14 seconds. Now it's Ty Peterson launching a three ball, but he'll come up with air and it'll go out of bounds with 9 seconds.
That was the senior trying to get a three-pointer in the hoop on senior night. No one's criticizing the guy for that. He's all smiles right now. So he's going to come out of the game, get a round of applause.
So they check the seniors out of the game here, bring all 3 seniors off the court at the same time. That's what West Hancock does here, and let them be acknowledged by the crowd. 7 seconds left. Bishop Garrigan with one more possession here. Mahler to Grand Jeanette, now right to Hoagland. 2 seconds to go. Elbow jumper Hovey, and that rattles off at the horn. 62-49, the final score in this one. Bishop Garrigan battles, but West Hancock with a furious close to the game. They slam the door on the Golden Bears and take the win in this one. With the win, West Hancock now 9-12. With the loss, Bishop Garrigan drops to 6-13. We'll step aside for a timeout, and we'll come back to wrap up this game next on Hometown Radio KLGA and the Algona Radio YouTube live stream.
When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee. Is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at MoneyPass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
Sports Club members bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Kasuth Regional Health Center. Make KRHC your home for healthcare.
North Iowa Appliance, Highway 18 East Algona, where they sell the best and service the rest.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country on Highway 18 West, Algona.
Greg Penning and Company, LLC, your tax service professionals in Algona and Bancroft, where everyone counts.
Yemlin Builders and Quality Apartments for Rent. Beauty and craftsmanship that will never go out of style.
Albert Electric. Flip the switch to Albert Electric. Call Neil at 320-0305.
Iowa Lakes Community College. Your community, your college.
Feed Mill Coffee Company in downtown Algona, where community connects.
All sponsors of this broadcast.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Iowa did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
And we are back here from West Hancock High School to wrap this one up as the Eagles defeat the Golden Bears by a final score of 62-49 here on Hometown Radio KLGA and the Algona Radio YouTube live stream. A big thank you to all people who tuned in tonight. Again, we do apologize. We know we had some buffering issues tonight, but the internet connection just was not strong all throughout the game, but we hope you still enjoyed the game whatever way you consumed it, whether you watched or listened. Also, we give a big thank you to the following sponsors for YouTube streaming. They include Chemna Auto, where it's not just about the car, it's about the care. Algona State Farm Insurance Agent Billy Offerman. Algona Municipal Utilities, where they're community-owned for community benefit. And Families of Bishop Garrigan High School, all sponsors of sports streaming here on the Algona Radio YouTube page. Also, a big thank you to Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants, as they sponsor our scoreboard. And again, scoreboard reads 62-49, the final score. West Hancock closed that game furiously. It was 49-46 in favor of the Eagles at one point. And from that point on, Bishop Garrigan only scored 3 more points. West Hancock outscored them 13-3 to end the game. And I think a little more experience for West Hancock, more athleticism than Bishop Garrigan, and both those things played into the Eagles' hands at the very end.
Boy, you got that right. Bishop Garrigan played so well that whole game. Good strategy defensively, but then when West Hancock in that fourth quarter came out of a timeout and decided to really increase that pressure in the half-court defense, boy, really threw a curveball at Garrigan, and just like the snap of the fingers, they scored 6 points in a flurry. And with the time that was left on the clock, Garrigan didn't really have a great answer for it. But, boy, I was really impressed there by the intensity brought by, namely, Mitchell Smith and Ryland Barnes at the end of that game. They just were not going to allow Bishop Garrigan to get that ball to the hoop offensively without a major battle for it. And they ran the floor super well. And then you got to also give a shout-out to the sophomore Evan Hinders, hitting some major three-point shots just when Garrigan either had just taken the lead or was about to take a lead. Hinders would come off the bench and hit a major three-pointer because let's not forget, Garrigan led a few times in this game. And, boy, this was such a nail-biter back-and-forth contest for it to end like it did. But that was just, like you said, what a flurry from West Hancock to end the game. That is what you call a late-inning rally to slam the door shut there. And I got to just tip your hat to the Eagles there for that finish there. If there was another 5 minutes left in the game, I think Garrigan would have come right back into it. But that rally came a little too late in the game for Garrigan to recover.
And West Hancock really does have some nice pieces. They're a very athletic team, and it is hard to believe they only have 9 wins at this point because of the way they played here tonight. I mean, defensively kept the intensity up. The Bishop Garrigan ball handlers did not look comfortable in the second half as they knew that aggressive defense you referenced was coming in the half-court game. And again, 62-49 final score, 13-3 run to close the game. As we'll take a quick look at some final scoring numbers for tonight. Braden Walk had 16 for West Hancock, Ryland Barnes 15, Mitchell Smith 13, and Evan Hinders 11. For Bishop Garrigan, Jacob Lear led the way with 16 as he was the lone Golden Bear to get into double digits. Drew Fogarty had 9 points, and you know, part of Bishop Garrigan's early game plan got scuttled a little bit. Fogarty picked up 3 fouls in the first half, had to sit a lot of time there, picked up a 4th foul as well in the second half before ultimately fouling out at the end of the game. I think not having him on the floor maybe didn't make a huge impact early in the game, but I think you saw it by the end that Bishop Garrigan was wishing they had him for a few more minutes.
Well, where it really comes up big is that Drew Fogarty is a very good ball handler, and he's strong with the ball. So when Garrigan gets pressured, regardless of whether it's full court press or in the half court press, the team looks to Andrew Fogarty to get him the ball, and he's strong with the ball, gives a chance for everyone to reset, get position, make cuts to the basket. And with him on the bench, it was kind of Jack Grangenet having to take it 1 versus 2 players, and that's such a difficult thing to do. And they didn't have that outlet to Andrew Fogarty there. So that did hurt at the end of the game there. But you know, Fogarty picks up those fouls. He's got to defend. He finds himself in a lot of situations where he's got to defend the shot. He's an aggressive player. You want your players to be aggressive. He just, every time he gets in foul trouble, he always seems to pick up a foul that's just could go either way, but there always seems to be an official right there that sees the contact. I thought on their flip side, we don't want to lose Drew Fogarty, and the Eagles don't want to lose Ryland Barnes, and he picked up foul trouble early as well. He picked up 3 fouls real early in the game, but managed to play that rest of the game. Just both he and Fogarty had a chess match going there mentally with themselves, like which fouls do I need to avoid and when do I have to play defense here? because you saw both of them let a lot of baskets go to the hoop because they didn't want to pick up that foul. And that's just kind of fun high school basketball. Watch it all play out. But you're right, Tyler. Things didn't bounce the Bear away tonight for lots of reasons, and that was one of them.
Yeah, so Bishop Garrigan with the loss. They, still are on a relatively good stretch right now. They've still won 5 of their last 8 games. But I know after beating Forest City on Tuesday, and Bishop Garrigan said, oh, that's a revenge game. We lost to Forest City earlier. Then we were able to beat them in their own gym. Let's do the same thing to West Hancock on Friday, especially with being in a similar position in the fourth quarter. They were down about 7 points, I believe, if I remember correctly, on Tuesday night against Forest City. They came back and won. West Hancock, it was close in the fourth quarter. Bishop Garrigan had it down to 3 at one point, but just never could quite get over the top. They just didn't have that really big shot in them at the end. And a lot of possessions were empty possessions with no shots.
Sure, and that's sports, and that's why you play the game. But funny, you should bring up the Forest City game, because if I think about, I saw that Forest City game, it was almost exact opposite. In the Forest City game, Bishop Garrigan came in the last 2.5 minutes with this incredible energy. There was just no way they were going to let Forest City win the game. Playing sensational pressure defense, taking the ball to the hoop, just fantastic. And tonight, it just completely flip-flopped. West Hancock was the team that just said, there's no way we're going to let this team come into our gym and win, and they just closed it out. So, yeah, just night and day, 2 different situations. Against Forest City, Garrigan took over the last 2 minutes. Tonight, West Hancock took over the last 2 minutes. And fun basketball, fun game tonight here in the West Hancock gym. Both teams played pretty darn good basketball. And West Hancock comes out on top.
So West Hancock wins this one tonight over Bishop Garrigan as the Golden Bears have 2 games left in the regular season against North Iowa and Hampton-Dumont Cal. Our next basketball broadcast actually comes on Tuesday for you as the Bishop Garrigan girls face Dyke New Hartford. So we'll have that coming up on KLGA and the Algona Radio YouTube live stream. That'll be Tuesday night. In the meantime, you can enjoy some Algona wrestling coverage this weekend of Brian Wilson as he'll be at sectionals tomorrow. Of course, also tomorrow, Breakfast with the Coaches here on Hometown Radio KLGA. That's coming up at 9:05 as we'll break down all the area action with the coaches after tonight's slate of games. That's it for tonight, though. Again, this has been a Hometown and Home Country Radio sports production. For my partner, Beanie Bodie, I'm Tyler Lance, signing off on KLGA 92.7 FM.